ingericht zodat we genoeg ruimte hebben om elkaar ons creaties te laten zien.
Leuk, heel goed.
Ja, we hebben een leuk interieur gemaakt en dat hebben we gezellig gemaakt. Dingen die iedereen leuk vindt. Iedereen haat de Markiplier foto, behalve ik, want ik vind hem leuk. Dus het is iets voor iedereen.
Heel goed.
En ja, dat is eigenlijk in heel kort onze vergaderruimte eigenlijk. En laten we maar gewoon zo snel mogelijk doorgaan naar de eerste persoon. En dat is... Wie was dat ook alweer? Randy. Nou, dan gaan we meteen door naar Randy's kamer. En daar hebben we alle world orbs, waarmee we meteen naar iedereen's kamers kunnen.
Ik hoop dat het mij naar werkt.
Degene met de beste internetverbinding moet even de wereld eerst openen. En dan joinen wij die sessie. Dat is het slimst.
Nee, in principe loop ik gewoon mijn kabel.
Ja, ik heb thuis ook een kabel.
Oké, nou Randy, als jij heb je hem al gestart?
Ik heb hem al gestart. Kun je erin, Robin? Ik zag niet dat iemand erin kan.
Ja.
Hij werkt niet.
Goed.
Even laden.
Dit is altijd zo'n awkward...
Ik hoop dat we wel op de goede plek spawnen. Holy shit. Wat gebeurt er? Oh ja, je spant op de goede plek. Ben jij daar al of niet? Wat?
Oh.
Ah.
Hey, let there be light, he said.
Oh, you're kidding.
Alright. Welkom in mijn forum. Dit is speciaal ontworpen voor filosofische discussies. Nee, maar even serieus. In het oude Griekenland had je van die forums waar de filosofen natuurlijk samenkwamen om te discussiëren eigenlijk over filosofische onderwerpen, maar ook over wiskunde en dat soort dingen. En dat is wel waar dit voornamelijk op geïnspireerd is. In principe, mijn kamer heeft hier achter een mooie muur van herinneringen die ik heb opgebouwd sinds ik begonnen ben in NEOS.
Ja, Randy, kan je misschien wat vertellen over die foto's? Want je bent zelfs al wat celebrities tegengekomen, zie ik.
Nou, die middelste is niet helemaal mijn foto, die heb ik gekregen. Maar ik ben inderdaad heel veel met Napo omgehangen. Die joinde de eerste keer dat ik in NEOS kwam, joinde die mijn wereld en die heeft me eigenlijk tot toe geholpen met alles. Het bouwen van deze wereld, het gebruiken van logics. En hij heeft me eigenlijk gewoon helemaal de basics geshowd van NEOS, zodat ik gewoon in ieder geval goed op weg kan.
Je hebt een beetje rare echo met je audio. Ik weet niet of iedereen dat hoort, maar...
Ja, ik hoor het ook.
Robin's echo.
Ja, wat is een mute knop?
Je moet in de main menu mute jezelf linksbovenin.
Linksbovenin op dat rode kruisje.
Ja, omdat Robin en ik in dezelfde kamer staan nu.
Geregeld.
Heel goed.
Nog
één keer zeggen, wie heeft je heel erg geholpen? Dus wie is jouw...
Nou ja, de blauwe furry. De blauwe furry is Napo. En hij joinde basically mijn wereld toen ik voor het eerst in NEOS zat. En hij heeft mij heel erg geholpen met echt van alles, like de basics, problem solving. En ik spreek hem nu ook gewoon dagelijks als ik dingen nodig heb in NEOS. Of gewoon,
wat goed!
Of gewoon normaal, als ik even wil chillen met iemand. Hij is echt elke dag online en hij heeft daarnaast ook een aantal van de andere groepsleden, als het goed is, geholpen met dingen. Dus,
supergoed.
Het is echt een held. En ook voor mijn etnografisch onderzoek heb ik besloten hem een soort van virtual reality guided tour te geven. Hij gaat mij een tour geven in ieder geval. Over de werelden die hij bezoekt en kijken, gewoon observeren en vragen stellen over wat hij nou eigenlijk aan het doen is in NEOS en waarom hij het zo leuk vindt en blijft doen.
Supergoed.
Ook weet ik heel toevallig dat hij heel veel met het dev team omgaat. Dus dat zou ook wel een interessante ervaring
Niet
zijn.
verkeerd. Nee, precies.
Om uiteindelijk het dev team dan te ontmoeten. Dan kan ik hun misschien gewoon eventueel nog vragen stellen. Mocht ik die hebben.
Nou Randy, het dev-team weet al dat jullie er zijn, want dat heb ik ook al aangekondigd. Ik heb ontzettend lopen opscheppen over jullie, maar ik vind het al superleuk dat je vrienden en connecties maakt in NEOS. Want mensen hier zijn echt zeldzaam behulpzaam. Het is echt heel interessant. Bijna iedereen vindt het leuk om te helpen. Dat is vrij wonderlijk.
En dat was inderdaad ook het allereerste dat ik merkte toen ik hier kwam. En ik heb het een soort van vereeuwigd op deze muur. Voornamelijk aan de linkerkant. En aan de rechterkant is meer een soort van journey als while we progress through NEOS.
En je hebt stereoscopische foto's ontdekt, zie ik?
Ja, I guess.
Leuk.
Maak je fout.
Die kan je jammer genoeg niet op desktop mode gezien. Deze heb ik gemaakt.
Ja.
Die zijn 3D, Lotte, zie je dat ook?
Ja?
Die middelste?
Hoe maak je foto's?
Ja, dus
Er
een
is
camera.
VR mensen kunnen het zien.
Er is een camera volgens mij in je, ik weet niet, een van de 2 folders.
Het is gewoon de NEOS camera en dan kun je in de setting zetten van normaal camera, 3D en dan 360 en dat soort dingen.
Heel goed.
Ja, in principe dat is het voornamelijk geconcludeerd. Ik gebruik deze ruimte persoonlijk ook gewoon om dingen te doen met logics die dan voornamelijk te hebben met het verwelkomen. Ik weet niet of jullie het gezien hebben, maar er staat een welcome tekst met je naam erbij als je hier joint voor de eerste keer. Het verdwijnt wel na een aantal seconden. Het staat heel groot hier, maar het is nu weg. In ieder geval, basically, dit is dus mijn centrale vergaderpunt waar ik mensen ontvang, waar we kunnen discussiëren. Ik moet wel een waarschuwing geven, de rest is nog een beetje in progress, maar dat komt helemaal goed. In principe hebben we hier dan gewoon, dit wordt een soort van centraal plaza waar je gewoon naar water kan kijken.
En een zwembad.
Een bad kan nemen, inderdaad. Ja, want hygiëne is belangrijk, zeker in deze tijden.
Robin is verdronken.
In?
Dus,
In het zwembad.
Ja. Meer het idee hierachter is, het is meer een soort van functionele, het is meer een soort van een travel hub. Je kan hier meerdere kanten op. Die is niet heel fysiek zichtbaar. Maar als je rechtdoor gaat, dan staat dan een soort van gigantische hangar waar dan mijn werkplaats is. Waar eigenlijk één grote lege ruimte is, waar ik dus met art kan spelen, met logics kan spelen, waar ik gewoon heel veel ruimte heb om in te werken. Het is nu vrij leeg, omdat ik nog niet heel veel gebruik van gemaakt heb. Maar ja, dat staat mij er wel aan toe om te gaan experimenteren met dingen, designs te kunnen gaan maken. Ja. Zonder dat ik het gelijk weg hoef te gooien.
Nou, precies, want ik denk dat Stefan zei al vorige week, toen we even kort met elkaar spraken, dat het een heel goed idee is om alle testen die je doet te bewaren. En in zo'n werkplaats als deze, zeker omdat je jezelf de ruimte gunt, kan je ook een aantal prototypes gewoon laten staan. Het wordt op een gegeven moment misschien wel een beetje zwaar, zeker als je code een beetje buggy is. Dus dan zou je misschien inderdaad werelden kunnen maken en dan hier alleen wat plaatjes en verslaglegging daarvan. Maar het is zeker ook voor school en voor de opdracht heel goed om een soort documentatie te gaan bijhouden van de dingen die je maakt, hebt ontdekt. Dus ik vind zowel je sociale archief, zeg maar, heel erg goed. En dat je een werkplek hebt waar je je werk verzamelt over de weken, dat is echt een supergoed idee.
Inderdaad.
En leuk ook. Ik ben wel heel erg gefascineerd door deze geweldige bioscoop hier.
Ja, hij is het goed is ook een soort van functioneel. Oh, wat gebeurt er met mijn licht?
Ja.
Als iemand graag testkonijn wil zijn en het podium wil betreden aan de achterkant. Goed is, zou het moeten werken. Ja. En basically wat we hebben is een soort van theater. Maar het is heel interessant, want de mensen die op het podium staan daar, die kunnen niet het publiek zien. Maar wij kunnen hun wel zien. Het is een soort van one-way mirror.
Kijk.
En het is gewoon, deze muur, het is meer bedoeld, je kunt hier dingen tentoonstellen, je kunt hier dingen laten zien aan elkaar. Je kunt een film kijken als je dat zou willen. Ik weet niet hoe goed dat gaat in NEOS, maar dat is wel waar dit deel voor bedoeld is. Like, het is meer voor...
wat goed.
Het is all work and no play, that makes no fun. So, het idee is, there must be some play. Right? Anders wordt het gelijk ook zo saai.
Ja, super interessant. Maar ik vind het ook je hebt heel slim gebruik gemaakt van die portal-functie die ze hebben inderdaad.
Ja, daar wou ik dus over zeggen, want ik ontdekte het puur bij toeval. Ik had een idee in mijn hoofd en het werkte niet. En opeens ging Pepijn aan de andere kant van die muur staan. Ik zag hem op het doek staan en ik zat dan, oh, dat is best wel tof eigenlijk.
Ja, zeker.
Dus, ja.
Nee, voor iedereen, de portal-functie is super interessant. Hey, Medra.
Hello.
Hey, wow, welcome.
Hey, this might be a class, and I was like, oh, cool.
You're so welcome. I didn't want to bother you yet because they're now showcasing their personal rooms.
Oh, cool.
So everybody, this is Medra. Medra
Hello,
is well, basically doing a lot of stuff in NEOS, including the creator jams, but he's also now has initiated the contest for all the makers here. We've been talking already quite a while, and I'm bothering him already for weeks that you're coming and that I want him to help you, find your way and stuff. But so, Medra, I mean, I don't know about. We're doing a tour for the coming year, yes, okay, also. But we're doing for the coming hour and a half. The students are showcasing their rooms.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how you are in your time right now. Or you're just jumping in
is this
say
the first
hi?
room?
Yeah.
This is the first room, yes. This is
I'll stay up an
Randy's
extra
room?
half hour. Yeah, heck yeah. I'd love to see everything that people have created. Like, this is great to see your class. Oh yeah, I used to be an art teacher, so I love this. This is wonderful.
So, just for everybody, is everybody okay in having Medra here? Otherwise, I will tell him to leave, because we're Dutch, we can just say that.
It doesn't hurt my feelings.
Is everybody happy with having Medra on board as well? Yeah? Okay. Because you might become... so you can come with us, Medra, and then... Lotte, why are you sort of behind the...
She's shy.
Oh, you need to learn how to jump, probably.
Oh yeah.
How do I jump?
What type of
That's so
controls are you
cute.
using? Quest? Press the joystick down, like press it down, and that should make you jump. I fall
Okay.
most of the time, so I'm not used to it.
Doesn't.
But yeah.
Gewoon op de joystick klikken.
Yeah, click it.
Yeah, I know, but the joysticks are a bit wonky.
Yeah.
Can you go to fly? Maybe do fly mode, Lotte. Why don't you just go in fly mode?
Open the radio menu en dan klik je op locomotion. Ja, perfect. Ja, nee, nog een keer. En dan de locomotion inklikken. Nee, inklikken. Met de trigger. Ja, en dan fly. There you go. Kijk naar boven.
Oh,
vlieg.
here, go. You're probably on. Click on.
Okay, if everybody,
no clip.
Medra is helping Lotte out. If we can gather for a moment.
Click on no clip. Click on
My advice is that if you need to help somebody, you can have a mode in your menu, which is whisper mode. If I now put whisper mode, I will be. You can only hear me when you're in the bubble. See? You can only hear me when you're inside of the bubble, which is nice because then you can have multiple conversations in the same room. So if I will just put it off again because this is a bit. That was not corona proof. Yeah. That was not corona proof. Now, so if you want to help out each other or just make a small remark, because sometimes the audio can be quite, overwhelming if everybody is talking at the same time. It's really nice to do the whisper mode. You can have a private conversation while people can keep presenting and stuff like that. So that would be my advice.
There you are. That's how you do it. Just like
So-
walking, except when you're aiming.
Lotte, can you join again?
Yes.
Good. So, Randy, I have because of course it takes longer than we always thought. But if everybody's okay with that, then I'm not really in a rush. So if it takes a bit longer, it's perfectly fine with me. Randy, I have one question for you. Yep. So you made a Greek forum for like philosophical discussions, you were saying, and then you got your man cave hangar, whatever you call it, huge work tool shed place to make stuff. How do you see these two aspects related in the work that you do? So I think it's really great that you're creating a space for conversations and philosophical debate. But I'm curious how you see that as part of your work. So how do you want to implement that more other than just making the building and saying now you can become philosophical? So what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so it kind of has to do with like the process I normally go through. When I think of something, I need to like tell that idea to someone else. So that's why we start at like a platform where we can talk to each other. So we can actually bounce each other's ideas off of each other, you know, like gain more insight in the thing you want to make, right? Then we can actually move forward to the hangar. It doesn't actually match the styles yet, but it will, don't worry. Where you can start prototyping it, right? And then we can come back here to this like big screen where you can actually present it, gain feedback on it, go back into the hangar. So it has kind of, the world has been built with the idea that it starts with the idea. Yeah, then you're gonna, try and make the idea. It probably will suck, but that's why you present it to other people, because then, once again, you can come here, present it, go back to the start, like discuss it, or you want to discuss it here, that's also fine with me, but I made the thing all beautiful with pillars there. So you can discuss your ideas again, and then, like, you have the design cycle there.
Yeah, interesting. And it's interesting that you're spatializing that. It's interesting that you make different spaces for particular aspects of your making. That's interesting. It would be very nice to hear in a few weeks how it works out for you and what it affords.
Definitely, but that's part of the fun, isn't it? It's like trying new things, which doesn't necessarily work, because if I normally do it, I'm just sitting behind a computer, and that's it. Like, I'm talking to people on the computer, I'm working on the computer, I'm presenting on the computer. Definitely, especially in these Corona times where I can't physically go to people and shake their hands and like, yo, this is what I made. Yeah. So this will, indeed, it does spatialize it more. And especially for me, that is really important, because my mind, my brain just gets really messy if I don't like spatialize these separate parts.
Yes. Yes.
For me, it keeps me as a reminder, okay, we've done this step, we go to the next step, and then we keep the cycle going until we have like a something I'm happy with, or at least it is something I can present, even if it is a miserable failure.
Well, very interesting thoughts, and I think it's very interesting and exciting to see how you're going to progress in the coming weeks, how this space is going to fill, you know, as a mind space almost of ideas and processes. So I'm very excited that you think about it this way. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Mirna?
You're going to change it.
Sorry. Go on, Lotte.
If you're going to change it.
Yeah, your audio is still falling away, unfortunately. No, we don't hear you.
I just heard the first three words.
Yeah. Can you mime your question?
I'll get a new headset later.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe we move on, but you keep your question in your memory, and then we just talk about it a bit later on when the headset works. Or you use the microphone of the computer, stay close to the computer. That might work as well. You can go to your settings now and just choose a different microphone. So Mirna, Metra, is it for you okay to befriend Mirna so we can invite you over to the main room?
Who's Mirna?
Mirna, you're hosting the main room, right?
So I'll add you.
Actually, I'm hosting the main room.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mirna invited me. Sorry. Yes. Okay. Well, anyway, Mirna, now you're friends with Medra if you accept it. So you can invite him. So if we jump back, you can invite him into the main room where we're now going. Yeah? Now, Randy, if you close this world, we probably automatically will all jump back to the main room.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Let me close this world real quick. Wait, where is it?
Thank you, Mirna.
Wait, I can't. There we go. Oh.
A torture chamber.
Wait, it does.
Not ominous at all.
It doesn't.
No. I don't know if it's depending on, how they see me as a teacher. I don't know. We'll see.
I actually can't close the world right now for some reason.
Okay.
I mean, we can go to the other one, but...
Yeah, but if you jump worlds, you leave all those worlds open, which is, in a way, a bit processing intensive.
Yeah, but it doesn't allow me to close it, because I'm not the one that hosts my world, apparently.
How do we find out who is hosting this world, Medra?
You already host it.
Oh, let's go to session.
Oh, so I have to...
You have to close it. He is the crown.
Me?
Now, Yuri.
Yuri?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yuri,
Right.
sorry.
Yuri, you have to
Yuri.
close. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
Apologize for my pronunciation.
That's okay. There are actually 2 Jorises in the group, so that helps.
Lotte, you
so
can...
where can I close
the
it?
vraag
I
ook
tried
in
to
Discord
go
schrijven.
to...
Yuri, are you on
It's not
desktop?
letting me.
Yeah, I'm on desktop.
So how do you close the world in desktop mode, Medra? Do you know?
Oh, let's find out.
There should be a little X in the right top corner in the worlds list.
Oh, wait, is that it? Oh, that's it. Yeah, okay, I'm closing it now.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Thanks.
There we go.
There you
Yay.
go.
Hey.
Yay! Dat is nog
Dat was easy.
Okay, so is Medra invited?
Ik heb geen idee.
You might want to open this session.
Yeah, I already did.
Okay, because it might be that Medra is not. Medra is offline for some reason. Okay, well, I'll send him an invitation as well. Anyway, so where are we off next?
To my room, the Joris Dingle world.
Joris Dingle world. So
Are
are you hosting it?
I should be hosting it.
Yeah.
Randy's setting it.
Oh, there you are. Good. We're
Right.
going to this one now.
I heard my name.
Oh, is that Randy?
Sorry? I'm so confused. Wait, which?
Nice formal desk.
There's 2 of them. Which
Smells
one?
like depression.
Oh, that's a mood. Which one do we go in? Pepijn. This one?
Are we in the right? Is this the correct place? Are we supposed to go into
I think
somewhere
we-
else?
Yeah, I think we need to go into this one. Joris Dingle.
Oh, okay. Okay. Joris. Joris Dingle.
Let me check if my world's
Randy, there you are.
Yep.
And where's Medra?
He's joining.
Okay, Joris. So why don't you tell us about this
Yeah.
world?
Sure. So I started designing it with the idea that I wasn't yet sure what I actually wanted to use this for, since I usually most of my creative juices flow when I'm walking outside, and also since I don't have the cable yet to properly use the headset here, so I built everything in the desktop version. So this probably will also change a lot when I can work in VR consistently. But for now, I just wanted to make a minimalist world that was also inspired by architecture I like, which is usually just Japanese and Eastern architecture. So I made a dojo in the air, and with a glass walkway so you can see that you're up in the air.
Oh, nice.
Then over here I have a table with all my equipment where I can just store it with 2 trees to have that outside feel a little. Here on the right side, on the walls, I have some pictures of my usual walking route, but I twisted them, turned them to kind of get a new perspective. Although I usually forget to take photos, even though I walk almost daily, so there are only 3, but I will. The idea is that to post pictures on every little square here.
It's like a diary.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. And then here on the left, there is a little walkway to a downstairs area, which is very empty, but it's there to place things if I
Very
want
nice.
to place things. And since I so far usually always used fly mode, the idea is to not really make more platforms, but just if I want to make things, I'll just post them in the air. I'll just create them in the air since the world is in the air anyway.
Very good.
Cool.
And
Guys, this world is horrible.
What? Why?
People are afraid of heights.
Oh,
There
yeah.
we go. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, nice. You got this city down there even.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Is that like London or?
I don't know. Well, as I said, I usually use fly mode, so there isn't a hitbox in the invisible.
Always safe.
Nice.
Flying mushroom.
Okay, that was exciting. Yes. So a lot of yes, you can fall.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And you can
Going to-
change the respawn area on that eventually. Like it can be a small fall or a large fall, depending on how you want.
So Joris, can you maybe say something about if you are in full VR, what is then the first thing you want to take on or start doing or working on?
I actually want to try. The reason I also post these photos is I want to try to recreate a simple version of some places that I visit while walking, since I want to kind of find a way to, well, since it's a mixed reality project, I want to find a way to mix reality and virtual reality. And also, I want to, in my research, I also want to find the reasons why people use VR and what they like it over real reality. And see if I kind of find a way to mix that in a way that creates a memorable experience. I don't know yet how, but that's what I want to try out.
Yeah, very interesting. And I like this idea of a walk also as a metaphor for, like you're moving through space, but you're also moving through time. And it's nice that you're already thinking about connecting physical spaces or be inspired by physical spaces and see how they relate to the virtual space. So that's very interesting. And I also like that you're immediately very radical. You're clearly trying to create a space that is different from what we know. So there's also a nice contrast that you have these very bluish photos of a typical Dutch suburban, environment, so to speak, and then you create like you said, like an Eastern-inspired science fiction kind of floating temple of tranquility. So it's very interesting. I like also the contrast. So when we think about reconstruction, also think about indeed what this world offers. Maybe that would be a parallel version of the world that you walk through physically. But not try to replicate indeed.
Yeah, and I'm also personally very interested to see if I can get the same creative inspiration if I, for example, walk in a in a virtual world.
Very interesting. Yeah, very interesting. Are you sitting on a chair right now?
Right now I am, yes.
Yeah, because you're using desktop. So another thing to think about then is the physical aspect of walking and this idea of standing up and that you don't turn with your controller, but you turn physically. So to think about also how to engage the body more. So the walking is a physical way of thinking in a way. So to really involve the body as soon as you have the VR, just don't sit behind your desk. Immediately stand up and see if you can, make it physical. Being in NEOS. I mean, I'm sitting down right now as well, which is really stupid actually, because I relate to this world now in a very lazy way. Yeah, which is really different. So that would be interesting also to figure out and understand that we can have also 5 trackers connect to your feet. If you would use a 5, you can do full body tracking. So there's all sorts of stuff that we could think of, or maybe a treadmill so you can walk literally physically on the floor. And then, well, anyway, I'm inspired clearly. Yeah, so that's really great. Are there any other questions or thoughts? Because it's not only about what I think about this. I'm also curious, have you all seen each other's rooms already, or is this the first time for you guys as well?
I've been there before. Last week, I think.
Yeah. So any other thoughts?
Yes, are you interested in using photogrammetry at all, or is it going to be recreations based on models or using in tools inside NEOS? Do you have any thoughts on the way you'd like to recreate some of the environments that you're part of?
I don't know what the thing is you just said, the photo what?
Oh, photogrammetry, it's where you scan images, and the images turn into sculptures. Have you seen that before?
I think. Yeah, I
did last week with Kinect, at least what I tried to do with our classroom.
Yes.
To show what they look like.
Yeah, do you have a small example, Medra? Because if I load my whole room, we're probably going to crash.
I think there's in the NEOS Essentials, I think under food, they should have it.
Like yes, that's a good one.
What can I see? I see 3D models, terrain randoms. Maybe it's under random. No? Nature? Is that where food lives? That's weird. Well, I think I have a model of it under my random junk of stuff.
I cannot find anything anymore in my...
Yeah, the inventory in here, you can't organize it so well, and next thing you know, you'll have a very messy inventory. There we are. Yep. This is, I think, one of Frixius's...
Oh, yeah. Good.
Oh, cool.
And you can use cell phones. A cell phone will work with it. And I use that to do some scans. So not that you have to do it that way, or it's encouraged, but something to think about is an additional aspect.
Yeah, we'll definitely look into it.
Is that chicken?
I know an app that can do that. I've used it multiple times. Just a phone app that can do that.
Yeah, unfortunately, that particular phone app, they stopped. It was perfect.
Which one?
No.
Yeah. I forgot the name, but it's how I scan my whole house. It was just with a phone. You make a little video, and you upload it to their server, and it turns into incredible scans. But anyway, we need to find a new way. But it's thanks, Medra, for bringing this up. For sure. Yes, we can make connections to scanned objects that we get from the real world. Yeah.
I'll write down a note for a reference world that you all might want to visit sometime that has scanned stuff intermittent with it.
Yes.
Oh yeah, please.
They also recreated the Apollo mission in 3D based on the original black and white photos that they made while they were on the moon. So there's a moon rock that is reconstructed based on those photos, for example.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, are there any other questions or suggestions, or people keep changing their avatar? I'm so confused who's who. That's fine. It's fun. It's fun. It's great. Yeah, please do. I mean, yeah, keeps me awake.
You have a great class already.
So any other remarks? Because otherwise we need to, because of time, probably move on a bit. Yeah? Okay, Joris, thank you so much. That's very inspiring.
You're welcome. See if I can close this world. Say, I want to save them.
There you go.
And we're back.
It really stays fun.
Is this the classroom right now?
Yeah. Oh, you haven't seen this one yet. Yes. I'm not sure why they call it the torture chamber, but they're still fighting what goes where and who is allowed to put what where and stuff. Yeah.
That's perfect.
There's a story behind the name.
What's the story behind the name?
I'm sure it takes too long for now.
Okay.
I'll tell you sometime.
So who's next?
Myrna.
Myrna? Lotte has already found the music.
I love it.
So Myrna.
I think you're muted, Myrna, because I'm not hearing you.
Yeah. Do you know how to unmute yourself?
Yes, I am. Sorry. I was like talking a lot and then, yeah. But this is the next one. So, see you there.
All right.
Yep, that's the laggy world.
Oh, this one, I went into it accidentally. Oh, man. This one will crunch you out, mainly because of the ground. You might want to change the ground temporarily.
Oh.
This is a fur shader, and fur shaders are being really mean. It looks really cool, but I've learned my lesson on that too.
Okay, so just keep it in mind.
Yes, but it's good I've seen it for a moment because it does feel nice.
Okay, let's see something. And then the material tool.
I'm keeping record of the classroom, like taking some photos so you all have some memories of the first tour of your all's creations.
Yeah, great, thanks.
I'll share the folder when I finish it up.
Cool.
I'm really trying to change the material. It's not really cooperating.
Would you like some help, just temporarily?
Sure.
Okay.
Just gonna look at it while it's still here.
Yeah, we haven't crashed yet.
Oh wait, it's the top
Oh
one.
dear.
I'll do my scary avatar for now.
Is that just the head of you?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna move the ground floor because there are 2 layers of floor. So I could like put 2 textures on it. So if everybody falls down, I'm sorry.
Oh, I can't believe in the NEOS Essentials they have that as an option. That's bad on NEOS. No wonder. Oh, well. I'll report that to Shifty. That's something they should not do.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Is that the ground floor?
I'm just gonna do it this way.
Yeah, there's like the one with the grass is under it. So I'm trying to move this one up. Let's see.
But the one with the grass, you can just put the mesh renderer off, so it will basically be hidden, and that would already help. So if that's the grass layer, just have the mesh renderer indeed disabled. But I'm not sure that you disabled the right one now. Okay. So. Yeah. There you go.
Okay, there we go.
And maybe enable the other one then again, so you do see the other ground floor.
Oh yeah, fair.
Yeah. But I'm happy to see that you're not afraid to use your developer tooltip already, and you're jumping into the lower level aspects of NEOS. So that's really good. I'm very happy to see that.
Yeah. Okay. So to get back on track, welcome in my world. So when I started using NEOS, I played around with everything, and I found that building little gardens was really like a sort of meditation for me. It was really comforting and relaxing. So I was like building these little gardens everywhere. And while I was doing that, I tried to like let my mind sort of flow. And if you look up at the sky, there are all the questions that popped into my head.
Oh, lovely.
While I was building the gardens, and it's things like, if I close my eyes, where am I? And I am currently in my apartment 5 high with my door open. So then I feel the wind, and then I'm like, okay, I'm somewhere in the winds, and I think of like sort of sunsets, and that's why the skybox also. So yeah, it's like all the sorry, they're all in Dutch, but yeah, these
That's
are all the
okay.
questions.
I appreciate y'all. Thank you for speaking English around. That's very nice of you.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, that was like all the questions that popped into my head, and actually I built my room in like 2 stages. So like the stage where I can relax and I can just let my mind flow, and then the next stage where I would ask you all to come here in my elevator.
Ooh.
Oh, cool.
Do we have to be in walk mode?
Yeah, it's better if you are in walk mode.
Okay. Let me just
It's gonna be a little bit crowdy because it was made for 1 person. So.
Oh, this is not Corona proof. Okay.
We'll have to just shrink
we have
down.
a button here that can open and close the door. Oh no! So, yeah.
Nice.
And then a button right here that will bring us down.
Oh, that's so scary.
And then we can open the door again, and you're in
Wow,
the second phase of
that's
my
so
room.
Nice.
Very nice.
You have this hidden layer.
Yeah. So yeah, this is like the layer where I bring the questions down. So this is one of the questions that I came up with. And this is like, if I close my eyes, where am I? Now, I'm sitting on a chair. I'm in a living room. What are the things that I have with me? I have a glass of water next to me. And I was thinking like, okay, if that's in my real space, what are the things I can do with that? Like, can I use the chair in some way? And this is like my inspirational board with the things also from Venice, Venice Expanded.
Oh, great. You've seen a few things. That's fantastic.
Yeah, cool. And also I was volunteer at the VR days last year. So the one that I loved the most from there was from Bauwap.
Yeah.
I really like that one, so that's also what I put here.
Nice.
So yeah,
Very
this is where
good.
I sort of collect my thoughts in some pretty tiny room, so I can really focus on the things that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And yeah. So yeah, that's my my room.
And what's the video that is playing currently?
Oh yeah, that's a previous work of mine. This is something that I did last year. It was also a virtual reality project where you have like your headsets on and you're walking on a treadmill, and then through there a story is being told.
Nice.
Oh, cool. I love how much thought you all have been putting behind your works. This is so exciting.
Yeah, and they're in NEOS now for a week and a half. So
just for a week and a half, I love this. A lot of people I meet in here are more practical in terms of they're less conceptual, and you have a mixture of the two. You all are going to do very well inside NEOS.
That's nice to know.
But it's nice, Mirna, to notice. I mean, it's actually quite interesting how you're all dedicating different spaces for different purposes. That's very interesting, and I think it's very interesting that you're playing with this idea of an open space and a closed space, which also for me has to do with this idea of daydreaming and the sky's literally the limit, and you know, I now I understand the grass also. I wanted to lie down, in fact. So it is also inviting a different state of mind, but also a different physical relation to the space, which I find very, very inspiring. And then you basically come down into your inner world here that is more closed and more quiet, so you can focus on the questions that you gathered while daydreaming. It's very poetic, but it's also very interesting to offer for other people, maybe to facilitate the process of coming from dreams back into a focused reality or a focused task or a focused question. So it's very inspiring, actually. Really nice. Are there any other questions from anybody in the group? No?
Yeah. Sorry, I was muted. How do you plan on expanding? Because this is quite small. Are you planning on adding additional rooms or just linking worlds together?
I wanted to make another floor for the elevator. And then it can go one more layer where I can put all my prototypes and stuff. But now we're getting into technical difficulties. Getting the elevator from up to down was already such a struggle. That I was like, let's wait with that until I'm a little bit more experienced with logics. And then we can make that. And then hopefully Atlas will help me again. Because we tried to fix the elevator and took us almost 5 hours to get it to work. So that's
what I'm also wondering.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, please.
What I'm also wondering is all these questions you have, and some of them are incredibly in depth.
Yeah.
And you're just working them out through images or visuals. Are you also working them out in documents or outside of NEOS?
Outside of NEOS, I have a Mido board where I work on them.
Yeah.
So that's where I can put diagrams also with it and videos and that kind of stuff. So I do work on them outside of NEOS.
Yeah, that's a good question, Robin, and I understand also with your group room that you wanted to have a meeting and you want to make notes. And you want to have a shared desktop, and you want to, of course, share PDFs and other. I mean, NEOS as of yet has not been really made to facilitate really meetings. So it's much more about world building and avatars and world creation, so to speak.
Yeah.
But there's more and more people now asking for how can we really have a sensible work meeting in NEOS. So I know they're working on it, including sharing your desktop or doing a presentation or stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe a bit friendlier for text files and stuff, and just typing text, sharing text.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. So unfortunately, the best way to now go about it is to make screenshots of stuff
I've done that.
and import them as pictures. But yes, it's very not perfect for that.
You can't edit those on the spot. So.
Yeah. But I do know if it's really necessary, there's already some trick we can do with a guy called Godfix. He is running a server that does live streaming, and that you can basically stream your desktop. So if you have a very particular presentation or brainstorm where you, for example, want to show what you've done online live in NEOS, we can make that happen. But it's a bit of a workaround. It's not really integrated yet. It will be, but that's with a lot of things anyway. Wow.
What's your What's your policy on students being able to utilize other people coming into the world if it's an open world with help with logics and things like that?
Yeah, that is actually an interesting question. But this is something we need to discuss together when we've done all the presentations, because Mirna, I noticed one of your Dutch sentences was that you were a bit shaken by these people jumping into your world.
Yeah, it is.
Yes. Yeah, but this is, first of all, I'm so happy that you actually voiced that you actually recognize that, because it's not, It's very strange that you feel you're in this private space and suddenly a stranger is standing behind you, starting to talk to you. And it is both exciting, but it is also a little bit scary. So I think what we need you to understand is that when you're opening a world, you're opening a session. And I can tell right now, if you go to your menu, you have this session button. So if everybody opens menu, the large menu for a moment, and press session, you see there is an edit mode in settings. And there you can say it's private, so only people I invite can join the world. LAN means it's just a local network. Friends, only people who are befriended, etc., etc. And there's even some ways to kick people out if you don't like them, but be a bit careful with that. It's rather, I think the first thing we need to now become aware of is that before you do a session, you think about, do I want to be alone or not? Can people join me or not? Will I invite them, or is it just open for everybody? So I hope, Myrna, that helps you a little bit because you are conscious about it, to make decisions how you want the space to be shared. And it's very important that you feel safe. And I, especially with your daydreaming and this self-reflective way of working, it's important that people just don't like jump in and say, hey, you know, so yeah, I completely understand.
Or mess up your work, yeah.
Yeah, like the very first time that I didn't know about that thing yet, and I just put it to public, and by accident somebody came in and he just started to mess up my gardens, and I was like, no, I just put time and effort in that. What are you doing? And yeah.
And that's another thing. You can put roles to people. So if you say guests, they cannot do anything, they can only look around. Maybe friends can move things around, but you can really put all those things in the settings of your session and in the settings of the world in general. So it is indeed important. I noticed in the classroom also, nothing is fixed. So if I by coincidence moved already a chair around and stuff. So if you don't want that, you need to start thinking about these things, like who's capable and allowed to change things. But at the same time, on the other hand, NEOS is a social VR platform. So as we already heard from others, people are also helping out, and it's great to make friends. But it's very important indeed to be conscious of it. So that's important, Myrna, absolutely. Somebody is typing really loud. No, that's okay. But just so you know that you know, it sort of then echoes.
If you like that.
Yeah, that would be lovely. All right, so if there's no further questions about this particular space, thank you, Myrna, so much. And if you want to optimize the grass texture or find alternatives to that, I do really like the textural quality of it. And now that I start to understand what you're doing with the space, don't immediately dismiss it because we say it's too intensive, but we need to then maybe Metro or somebody else can think about how to, you know, optimize that so it can really be there, because it does give an added value to that space for sure.
Yeah, appreciators are neat.
Yeah. Okay. So you can close the world?
Yes.
I like how there's just a floating light. That's great.
It's been bothering me for like this place it.
That's the beauty of like VR is you have so many things that can kind of like be grounded in reality, but you're flying. Who cares? You know, or you know, there's nothing that's going to crush you. I guess unless you make it do it. So you can really have fun with those kind of aspects that are the unreal aspects.
So just to be sure, Atlas, who are you?
Atlas is Pepijn.
Thanks. Yeah,
it's
thanks.
Pepijn.
That's okay.
I prefer to have my actual virtual name to use in anything.
That's perfectly fine as long as I know.
Yeah. All
right. Good. Okay.
And that's normal too.
So who's next?
Next up is Sean.
Cool.
Yeah. I am. I think this is my home orb.
Oh, so tiny.
Yeah. Oh, well, failed. Session has ended.
Oh wow, everybody's there.
I'll straight down.
I'll just go straight to my world.
Yeah. Nothing is happening when I click it though.
That's
You might need to be in the world first.
But is
The
it
first personal world. It is a session world.
But it's the home thing, right? That we're clicking
Is it?
now.
Yeah, is it? Did you build a home inside your home? Yeah.
Yeah, it's fading for me.
Is the person already in the world? That's their home?
Not yet.
Oh, you should go in there. Go in there first. Is it not loading when you're trying?
Start session.
Okay, that helps.
No, it's loading.
Oh, okay.
So we need to wait till John disappears?
Yep. Good.
It's still not.
And then it might need to take some time for that to load. When he loads in, then we probably will be able to. Maybe. Sometimes. Stop call means it's waiting for him to load.
But I'm not even getting a menu in the sense of new session, join session, whatever.
Same.
Yeah.
I can also, John sent me an invite, so I can also go to him and then invite you all to his world.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yes,
sure.
please.
Yeah.
Okay, see you there.
Joris en de rest niet uit. Dus alleen jullie.
Dat zit er mij ook lekker nu hoor, John. Dat is misschien niet zijn echte home. Ja, ik weet het niet. Ik weet het niet. Dat is vreemd, nee. Heel makkelijk. Are you cool paced? Mirna? Oh, iedereen is hier. Oh, sorry.
Ja, iedereen is daar naartoe aan het gaan. Dus ik wacht even tot Lotte geladen is en dan kom ik ook eraan. Oké?
Ja. Wat? Ik hoor iedereen heel laggy. Kunnen jullie me horen of is dat ook heel laggy voor jullie? Ik hoor geluid, ik hoor aan geen zinnen. Die...
Is that maybe because John has a bad internet connection when he's hosting?
Maybe
So
he can.
Can somebody else host?
In the world? And someone else could host, but he would have to have the world somewhere.
Orb, right? Because
the
orb didn't work.
Yeah, so is he still in his own world? Yeah, he is, huh?
Yeah,
so maybe
I'm calling him back.
Okay, great. Lotte is now disappearing.
Oh,
Oh my god.
It's finally loaded.
We're lost in VR.
Let's just come back again.
Oh. Her sound doesn't work and now she's in the wrong world.
Yeah, Lotte is in Sean's home.
He'll be back.
Yeah.
Hallo.
Hallo.
Hallo. Het geluid bij Sean kraakt zo erg dat ik niks kan horen.
Ik had oorpijn.
Ik ben doof geworden.
Ik denk dat iemand anders even de world moet hosten met een betere internetverbinding.
Ja, ik kan het wel doen, maar dan moet Sean er eerst even weer uit.
Ja,
dat is
je
het
moet...
ding.
Wat?
Nou ja, Sean zit nog in zijn eigen wereld te wachten tot we allemaal komen.
Do you want me to suggest that we go somewhere else and then we can try and work out this problem separately, or what do you think? I think it's going to take a little.
Was proposing to boot John's world, but we need to get John back first.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't
do you have it,
befriended him
Mirna?
yet.
Okay, let me ask John to come back then.
Yeah. And Lotte also, preferably.
What the hell has this picture become?
It's art, Randy.
Sean is coming.
It's art.
Oh, nice.
Sean, you're here already?
That's good.
I think I didn't my world orb.
Yeah,
Okay.
let me host it.
That's such a thing.
And John, you might want to reboot. You might want to reboot NEOS because your voice is breaking up still.
Oh, je zit in die stoel of niet?
Ja. Nieuw perspectief.
Je zit met mij.
Is Lotte lost in space? Does anybody seen Lotte anywhere?
No
I'll
clue.
go get her.
Oh, she's in.
Just DJing.
Oh, it's still John's place.
I will invite her back. Ja. We gaan het even anders proberen, Lotte. Mirna host nu een wereld.
Missing. Oh, daar is Lotte.
Ja. Mirna,
Ja,
kan jij
fout, Lotte.
hem hosten?
Ja, zeker. Ja. Ga ik even een world ophalen.
Doe maar. Let's see, where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so there's 4 more, so to speak.
Sean heeft blijkbaar niet aangezet dat vrienden in zijn world kunnen. Dus ik kan er nou ook niet meer in, nu hij eruit is.
Dat dacht ik al, want zijn orb deed ook niet.
Okay, we're going to then maybe skip to the next world, so the next person.
That's mine.
And then John has some time to figure out how to put the right settings there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So who's
So
next
Yuri.
after John?
Yuri.
Me.
Yuri.
Yeah, it's this orb, the resting place.
The final resting place.
Make a session.
Yuri resting place. That's a good start.
And I'm loading.
Loading?
Ooh,
Loading.
something happened. Did someone
it's loading.
spawn in something? Ooh.
Het is gewoon, ik hou mijn backboard, wat zei.
That was
Mijn backboard wanneer
interesting.
je wat zei.
Everyone was hit with that.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, what did I miss?
Oh, just click on Yori's resting place. We're going in there.
stuck under the floor.
Oh.
God, Lotte, it's such a horrific experience.
This is
for
where
you.
they
Your
bury the
sound
bodies.
Doesn't work. You're stuck everywhere. You might want to go in fly mode first, and then you release yourself from the floor.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I don't have a basement door, unfortunately.
Yuri has worked on his logics for ages to get you stuck in the floor, so.
Enough to move for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Why am I stuck?
Yuri, could you please take us on a tour? Tell about your space.
Yeah, so there isn't much space to go anywhere. It's like all in this house. Because I spent my last 2 weeks getting comfortable building an environment in NEOS.
Yeah.
Because I'm an environment artist as well, it's like the thing I'm specialized in. So I was like, what can I do in NEOS to work on that skill or to show what I can do with it and to prove what's possible in it. So I don't really have any technical things. It's mostly just a showcase. So
Yeah, that's fine.
And it's probably based on my where I get my inspiration. For this, the place I'm imagining would be a nice place for inspiration. So just really in a calm, quiet forest. Because I live in a pretty loud, noisy neighborhood, and I was really interested in seeing how it would be if I could do it in a place like this.
Yeah, so this is your retreat fantasy, so to speak.
Yeah. Indeed. I've been building a lot of forest stuff around it as well. But obviously you're not supposed to go there, so it's just to actually place the trees, just so you can see it from this perspective. And I'm kind of curious to how I can use this skill in other projects as well after this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The floating head in the air.
So what inspires you to, when you build environments, what specific sources do you like to draw from?
Well, it depends on the environment I'm making, because usually I make a lot of sci-fi stuff, and this is like not sci-fi at all. So, only because I've been looking for a house with my girlfriend, because we want to move out and live together. So, I've been seeing a lot of houses for the last few weeks, and this kind of stuff, like this wooden stuff, I really like it, because it's not too boring. It's not like just black and white. It's like super depressing, I think. And there's also not any super bright color that blinds you, right? So I don't know. I just really like this kind of architecture. So it's kind of like a dream house if I were to have a dream house.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you were to make something that was a house that wouldn't be something to be lived in, but more just be thought out, or something that was more more of an expression versus something that's based in reality, how would you want to express that?
I'm not sure yet. I'm probably could have spent more time on it, but because I spent the most of my time last 2 weeks just trying out NEOS and seeing what's possible. So it's something I wanna spend time with, like in the future.
Mm-hmm. Just to illustrate, if you go through the floor, you go down.
Yeah, that's the storage room.
Yeah, there's a hidden room here.
I like that the tail looks like it's part of like some kind of
what I find interesting are these sentences that you're not supposed to go there, you're not supposed to see this. But of course we all have
can.
we can. And if
it makes it even more fun.
if I go further down,
there's all the secret sauce.
no, but I mean, this space to me is a space that you can only basically experience in VR, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So what I like, Yuri, is that we start in a space that we recognize. But I find it also interesting that literally by falling through the floor, you end up in spaces that are playing with how space is constructed or playing with our concepts of what a space is. So I really, maybe it was not intended, and clearly you said you're not supposed to do this, but because we are doing it, because we're artists, you end up in experiences that are very surprising. I like how the trees are now sort of floating, and there's this hole, and you know, if you go down,
That looks pretty interesting.
so there, and this all, you got all these like.
Yeah, that's where the secret sauce. Yeah, you find all
If you go all the way down, there are people down there.
Yeah. What do you mean?
What?
In the skybox, there's people.
What?
Oh, yeah, it's true. Yeah, there's like mountains surrounding the area, so they're like covering it, I guess. But...
That's fun.
That's actually a very good point, Robin. If you drop down all the way to the bottom almost, you see these hikers in this weird landscape.
I love it, all these layers.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, we'll go back to the house for a moment. Let's see if I can fly up there. There you go. Okay.
It's funny you say that, like the stuff going on below, because me as an artist, I never really noticed that because I see it all the time. And now you have actual people experiencing it, so that's quite a different.
Hey, there you go. This is why it's great to test things with people. But also, I think it's actually what I like about this, Yuri, but it depends on your style and your thoughts and your questions, of course. But these like accidents, so where you say you're not supposed and then we do it, it opens up suddenly new ideas about what this space can become. And I heard Medra say when we dropped down, he said, I like all these layers. And I like it as well. It's like you're dropping down to more weird abstract layers playing with a perception of space. So starting in a place that you understand, and then slowly but surely things, deconstruct, open up, behave differently than what we know, is of course very interesting. Well, at least to me.
So I mean, I've been building all of the stuff in desktop mode. So
there you go. That's a very good point.
Yeah,
that's a very good point.
We didn't really have the VR headset stuff ready till yesterday for like most of it. So I wonder how it will be in VR, because I haven't actually experienced it in VR. So
I'm going to pause then my monologue about it, because clearly you need to do that first, and then we can talk.
It's probably like a completely different experience.
Yes, I agree.
Definitely.
I agree. Actually, I was a bit surprised to hear that not everybody has a headset yet, right? Is that correct?
That's weird.
Yeah, I got link cables yesterday. It's like a little late for this.
But how many headsets are there now? Do we still need to arrange more headsets for you guys?
That would be nice.
Because how many do you actually have? How many Oculus's Quests do you now have for the group?
We have 3 in total.
3?
4 actually. We also have a Vive and 3 quests.
A Vive and 3 quests. So we're halfway, so to speak.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, because I don't know what happened to Lotte. She might be gone again. There's Lotte.
She's moving.
Lotte? It's only half of the group basically have a headset. So we need to think and talk a bit maybe about how to make sure that we can get everybody a headset for sure. And that it has to happen really soon.
It's not just the headsets though.
Yeah, it's also the software.
The desktops and the software on the desktops, because we need administrator accounts with computer services are incredibly hard to talk to.
Yeah,
Okay, so that is some logistics that we can talk about then, Lotte. So we think about short term and long term, but it's definitely important that you're all at some point are in VR in NEOS, because otherwise we cannot do a workshop with Medra in a proper way. We cannot work with Jason in a meta movie project. We cannot, So it's great that you're all now joining in desktop and you're committed to make this work, which I'm really happy with. You're not complaining. You really make it work, which I'm very excited about. But we will definitely make an attempt to get additional quests in, and then indeed additional hardware and licenses, because you need to really be in VR. Like you said, Yuri, you have to experience your own space in VR to know what you actually made.
Yeah. It's also the scale here is like pretty off. The staircase is super small because I didn't notice that because I was in fly mode on desktop all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, but also, and this is about proxemics, so how you physically relate to the space, you cannot imagine when you're in desktop. Like now, I feel you're way too close to me, for example. You don't know that, but you don't know that when you're in desktop, but it feels really, different when you clearly in VR. So anyway, we'll work on that. I would love you to maybe decorate the room with some pictures of spaces that you've made. So it would be really nice to have a bit of an exhibition of other, also the science fiction stuff would be great to have that on the wall here to see, as a contrast with your wonderful nature getaway.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so please do. And people are already demolishing the glass panes in your house, so to speak. Okay.
This was off, I just looked at it.
Nothing happened.
No, there you go. Your house is being deconstructed as we speak. So you might want to close the room. You can go back to the torture chamber.
All right, see you in a bit.
Torture chamber.
Class. Oh,
Back again.
you might want to be careful when you open a world. It was set to anyone, and so people will come in randomly from everywhere.
Yes. Yeah, so when you open your world, make sure your session settings are friends only. Okay, so who's next?
I am.
Unless you want to do John first.
If John is ready.
Yeah, sure. If someone else can host my worlds, if we even need to see it.
We definitely want to see it. Mirna, you're hosting?
Yeah, if I click on it, then it says failed. So,
Yeah, you'll have to. It depends on if you saved it into your inventory. You'll want to open it up. I'm not sure. Has everyone saved their worlds into their inventory? Is that how they've?
Maybe sounds really dumb, but you can save stuff in your inventory.
I'm not sure.
My world is just a copy of my actual world, so you can change anything. It's not the world I'm working in.
Okay.
Yeah, so John, I think you might want to pull out a copy of your world orb so Mirna can do a proper session setting hosting.
Yes.
Can I do that from here? No, I have to start the session and then get the world orb. Okay. Oh wait, no, I can get the world orb from here. Yeah.
Yes. Nice.
Yeah.
Start session.
Yeah, perfect.
I started it.
Yeah.
So just
and put it to friends only then.
Yes. It's loading.
My thing says waiting. Host is starting session, so I'm not entirely
same with
sure.
mine. Start session. Wait, start custom session? Start session.
Yeah. That should do the trick, but it's not booting, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on. Medra, you have any idea what's wrong with this world orb
Is
by
the
John?
Is the John in the world already? Like who's hosting?
No.
Mirna's hosting?
Mirna is hosting it, so she
Are you
started
inside
a
it?
new session.
Is she inside the world right now?
No,
Nope.
because
Okay, you
it's
should
not
go
loading.
into the world. No, go into the world. Oh, it didn't let you leave Mirna first.
Says
You've not
it's
been able.
loading.
Okay. I don't know.
Is this actually a world orb or is this a session orb? How do we know? Oh, it says world orb.
world.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see. Maybe I can try and host just to try it. Starts custom session. I'm gonna make it anyone right now just because I'm not friends with everyone, so I just want to see if it works.
Sure, I can join. You can invite me, and then I can invite everybody else again.
Sure. Looks like
nothing happens.
Yeah, it looks like something's not loading altogether in it. If you see how it has the little checkerboard, it looks like something's not loading altogether. So maybe there's some kind of issue with that. I'm not sure. That's kind of weird.
Okay, so because of time, we might then jump to another world first.
Yeah.
Medra, would you have a look with John to see what's going on?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Sure, I can try and see what we can do. John, if you want to jump into the world, and I'll go in there with you.
Who else are we now? We went to Yuri, Pepijn?
Pepijn, yeah. Yeah. That's to me. Alright.
So yeah, when you go into the world, just invite
right
me in,
behind
John,
here.
if you would.
Oh, I don't have laser
Wait,
enabled.
go to edit metadata. Wait, change that. Edit
Right
metadata
here.
for now.
Atlas then.
Yep.
You booted first, yeah?
Okay. Normally you wouldn't want to do this, but change it to
Oh wait, do I already have it open? I think I
Anyone
already
can
have it
save.
open. 2 seconds.
I'm going to save a version of it temporarily, and then I'll delete it later.
Yeah, sure.
Let's see if this works. I'll be back. I'm going to trust my work. I got it. I'm going to invite you in, John, and see. Well, I'll give you a session orb and see if this is the same world. Just want to make sure. Okay. Click on this world, John, and let's see if it's the same one.
Waiting, host starting session.
Oh, yes.
Right, stand still. Don't move. Don't move.
Alright.
Kan ik het in het Nederlands doen of zal ik gewoon lekker doorgaan in het Engels?
Nu kan je het in het Nederlands doen als je dat wil. Maar
Ja,
Engels
is wel
mag ook.
makkelijk. Nou, ik doe wel Engels met Red. Oké.
Ja.
Jongens. Ten eerste, ik ben Pepijn. Ik ben een developer. Dus mijn ruimte is echt een mes van allemaal dingen die ik aan het developen ben. Ten eerste wil ik graag dat de mensen die in VR zitten, alleen de mensen die in VR zitten, want ik heb uitgezocht dat de mensen in desktop mode dit niet werkt. Ik weet niet waarom, ik zit er nog uit. Maar de mensen die in VR zitten, kom met mij mee en klik op The Upside Down. Iemand klikt op Switch volgens mij.
Ik kan niet erop klikken.
Oké, en nu?
Come on.
Ik kom hier.
Nu zijn we hier.
Wat?
Ja.
Er zijn wel een paar... Hè? Klik erop. Wat gebeurt er? Dit werkte zo goed.
Ik hoor hem, maar ik zie hem niet.
Ik kan nergens op klikken. Oh, ik weet waarom. Shoot. Ik weet wel.
Overal muziek.
We zijn allemaal spectators, het spijt me.
Ja,
Kan de muziek wat zachter?
ja, dat zou ik ook
kan
wel
hem
fijn vinden.
Ik kan hem niet uitzetten totdat ik een admin ben. 2 seconden. Permission.
Ik durf nergens
ik
heen
kan-
te lopen namelijk.
Ik kan niks doen. Iedereen is een... Oké, iedereen terug. Ik sluit deze session.
Sluit
Ik
hem maar
weet
af,
wat er
doe maar
misgaat.
even opnieuw. Wij wachten wel. Doe maar een nieuwe sessie. Oh, hij verdwijnt nu. Wij blijven hier gewoon.
Lotte host het.
Ja, wie is de host? Dat is dan een goede vraag. Ja.
Lotte.
Oh, Lotte host deze world. Dat is leuk. Lotte, wat gaan we doen? Oké, dan moeten we in de world... Als je in je menu naar de world browser gaat... dan zie je dus Atlas Den als eerste... en dan kan je op dat rode kruisje drukken. En zo sluit je hem af.
I have to go back in there. Yeah. Hi.
Lotte was hosting your world.
I saw it. Alright, I'm gonna start it
I
again.
want to come to this one, so...
Oh, I'd love
All
to.
right. Here we go.
Missed any yet?
This time,
No, we were mostly confused about stuff, so
No,
that's
I
fine.
worked out John's thing. I don't think there's much to do on it.
Like always.
Okay. Okay, let's join
Someone
that one.
clicks to join, and then
Yeah. Don't host.
Come on.
Yeah!
what?
Why doesn't it work?
Please explain what's happening.
He made this really cool thing that he only can see. That's really
No,
it's really nice.
it's because there's so many people, it doesn't work. Come on.
It might be. Is this
Yeah.
logic space?
Okay.
We're moving. Are we?
Okay.
No.
Well, wait, where's everyone?
Don't click. Don't click.
I'm not doing anything.
I can hear voices, but I don't see
I can
anyone.
see it's moving
We're
slowly.
moving.
Why doesn't it?
Are we?
It should.
Oh.
It should.
Where
just
are you
rotate
guys?
around.
Oh.
I see we're moving slowly.
You're kidding.
Wait.
It doesn't work.
Maybe it's because
Hello?
did you use logics?
I did
Wait,
use
let me
launch.
try to press
It might be
it.
the user that you set up for it. Maybe it's only works for the host user, and
No,
you're
no,
seeing
no.
it more.
It doesn't. It's just it moves this object when I click on this.
Where's
I
everyone?
can see it slightly moving, but
Yeah.
it just. Okay, come on, please. Just work. It was so cool.
Yeah, it worked. I tried this one time. It does work.
Okay. Well, Pepijn, maybe you can tell us what would happen.
I can show you. Go to main.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh.
Everyone's going to main.
Great.
Apparently, those teleport buttons don't really work that well. They just teleport everyone.
Oh, that's why I
This is
keep
what
moving.
it should do. If this one works.
Oh, where'd he go?
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, nice setup. Set up some character parenters. Nice.
Yeah. All these.
Lotte is going kamikaze again. Yeah, this
And
is
in
nice.
desktop mode, it doesn't work.
Yeah, this is really nice.
Yeah, well,
It doesn't work in
special
desktop
motion
mode.
stuff for desktop mode.
Yeah, cool.
So I made that, and I'm very happy with that.
I love it.
I also made this, and I hope it works. Desktop people have to be in no clip mode, and just VR people can just, if I'm correct, walk into it, but I fucked it up last time, so
I can't
I
go to
already know
fly
it
mode.
doesn't work. Oh, there you go.
Oh, nice. Teleport portals. I love
Yeah.
them.
Ah,
Yeah, I love that too.
Oh,
That's
okay.
sick.
This is helping me out, like thinking about different. Since you all have different tastes, like worlds that you all should see.
I can't get over there.
You gotta see Kawawa stuff and upside down.
Yeah, Upside Down is definitely something we could do together, which is like a school
Yeah.
trip anyway. Hey, nice outfit, Yuri.
thank you. You like the T-pose?
Yeah. Yeah, but also because you're really shiny.
That's funny.
Oh no, I'm a shiny.
Yeah, you're a shiny, weird T-pose person.
I love it.
So,
Used to be
Pepijn,
worse.
tell us.
Oh, what happened? Yeah, well, this is my dev area. It's just an empty area with some music because I like to work under music. And I just, in this area, I just use logics and learn logics mostly.
Yeah.
Just try to watch. I also have, like, over there some tutorial videos, but mostly I just kind of keep those open and just experiment myself.
Yeah.
And, yeah, this is where I just make stuff and then I place them over there if I like them, like the character parenter, as I figured out like 2 days ago. And then the character force fields, which I used on those orbs there. It's a little game where you just jump. It's nothing big, but yeah, it's just creating dumb stuff to mess with people's heads, especially the character parenter. I love that thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't classify it as dumb stuff. I mean, I clearly see a theme that you're fascinated by actually playing with the laws of space. Sort of try to see if you can transform space or the behavior of space or how you relate to space in a different way than what we're used to. So playing with gravity, playing with teleportation, playing with connecting
Force
spaces that
fields.
are not force fields, etc. So that's interesting. I mean, that is not just like foolish tricks or whatever. It is very interesting because it does something to us as a group. Like, for example, for Randy, it didn't work, the portal. So then you immediately have this idea that the portal is selecting who can go and who isn't. And there's all sorts of stuff happening immediately with the group. So they're not just proof of concepts in the sense that it technically works, but it immediately has an impact on how we're together and what is happening to us and where we are. So I hope you also keep an eye open to the effects that it has in a more like performative or social sense, because a lot already happened to us trying these things out that you made. So that's very exciting.
Yeah, especially those buttons. I have to fix those. Just bringing everyone everywhere.
Yeah. But you might also start thinking about a replacement for the idea of a button. So, like you said, I really loved how you opened the world. You immediately said to me, "Don't move," which is interesting because the whole space is made to move around. So that is already building suspension. And you're saying, like, if you move, things will happen. Even if things don't happen, that already as a sentence is great, because I'm like Emila, like what will happen? So I also like how you present your world as an exciting world, where there's a lot of invisible stuff that might happen to you, or not.
I just like, what I like the most is just behaviors that. Well, how do you say it? It's like, how do you say this? I just like things that. Playable behaviors. Just doing something and then something weird comes out. Like walking against the wall and then eventually you'll stand on the wall.
Yeah, exactly.
I like those stuff. Like
You seem to be
with it.
fascinated with mechanics, like seeing how mechanics interact with the environment and the users. You'll find that that's a lot of the NEOS users are, in general in here, are very mechanic oriented without even any other conceptual stuff, which is nothing wrong with that. But already seeing from your all's group that everyone has like a lot to give in each one of the type of areas that they're interested in. And so this is going to be really interesting how you all interact with each other and help influence each other.
Yeah.
Like your mechanics will certainly help out with someone else's mindfulness in terms of how they want to keep the space based on some kind of mind space mixture. And it's great.
Yeah. I'm not really, as you can see, or just the environment. Just some buildings. We're standing on the building. I don't know. Just a little mountain. I don't know.
Y'all are doing
I
great.
don't really think about the environment. The environment is like empty space for me. The more I focus more on the mechanics and everything. Like this clock. Can anyone read this clock?
I can.
Try it. I love this clock.
It says 11:37.
No, it's a clock. And I love it. Because it's so complicated, but it's so much fun to read what time it is.
Well, anyway, I mean, yes, so mechanics and yes, playing with like programming, developing, and making weird experiments and make people in a way question space is clearly your forte and interest. But don't dismiss also your design skills. I mean, this world is particular to you, and you say this is empty space. Well, I'm sorry, this is everything but empty space. You know, this is really your space. I mean, we're in this weird snowy world in between half floating buildings in this experimental portal setup. So that's not the definition of empty space. I'm sorry. You understand what I mean? So don't dismiss what the design steps you have made. I mean, we're looking at mountains. We're on a building. There's this rooftop sensation. There's all these floating screens. All of that has an effect on first of all how I start to understand who you are, but also for me as an experience is already quite interesting and meaningful.
What the heck?
That was well-timed little sound, actually. All right, so I think we need to move on. But are there still some questions for Pepijn, or comments, or things that you're excited about or curious about? If you see this.
Well, I have a comment about something I really like, which has nothing to do with anything dev, but actually about your environment, which is that these
he's gone.
these material orbs, I really like that you just place these material orbs in the environment.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game. Don't click on the button. The buttons don't work.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, the buttons are kind of freaky.
Yeah.
But that makes me want to press them more.
No!
Whoa! There you go.
But that's something to think about, like even with the pressing more, like you don't touch this shiny red button that will destroy you.
True.
Who did that?
I said don't click the buttons. They don't work.
No, but this is so interesting. I mean, I actually like that others are deciding what is happening to me in a way, while I do have my own agency at the same time. So I think it's very interesting. Also later for the project, you know, thinking about interactions. Again. Stop doing that. Yeah, so this is, I mean, you know, and just I wanted to say that there are different ways of designing something, and what you're basically doing is what you call tinkering. You're exploring technologies, you're exploring tools, and then you build a little prototype, and then you see what happens. And then with, you know, in communication with the rest of the group and us, and later maybe more, some sort of artistic project, it will start a dialogue. So you can iterate on that and build on that. So it's very valuable what you're doing. It's like this wonderful playground sandbox thing.
Yeah.
But they're not only tools. I hope you understand. This is already an experience. I hope we can agree on that.
Yeah, and I think it's fun or interesting to see that you keep saying these buttons don't work, but in my experience, they definitely fucking work.
They do. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the point. Very good.
All right.
All right. So thank you. We go back to the torture chamber.
Yeah. I'll close this one.
Yep.
All right. What?
Excellent.
There we go.
So we have 2 more, if I'm correct.
Yep.
Robin still and John. I'm
Yeah.
not sure, John, what your
I
situation
went to
is.
John's. I was able to go into John's world, but if I'm correct, John, is your world is mainly just two panels. One talking about like how to use desktop mode, and the other one giving you more information on desktop mode. Is that correct?
I think you're muted, John.
Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
was
wait.
muted. Yes, it's indeed mostly empty. It's just well, I can explain it now. I haven't really had much time to work on it, because I'm also doing university courses next to this project, so I basically have only half the time the rest of these people have. So yeah, and I was actually mostly waiting for to be able to work in VR on this in NEOS. But yeah, I kind of it took a little longer than I thought before. Yeah, everything was VR capable at the HKU. So yeah, I've been mostly waiting for that, but what I want to do in my room is...
John, before we try to explain what is not there, I'm curious, if everything would have worked, would have been there, you have endless time doesn't exist, what is it that you would love to make? So what is what kind of environment would you have then created for us to step into?
Yeah, I want to make a somewhat open environment where I just have room to experiment. Somewhat similar to Pepijn's room. I heard a lot of noise from Robin, I think. Yeah, I just want to make some technical experiments. I was also thinking about portals and maybe being able to grab a portal and put it over your head, and then you'll be on the other side of the portal, such things. Yeah, but mostly just open space, kind of minimizing the distractions, and being able to focus on IDs.
I think, John, because if you don't have time as of yet to build things and you have all sorts of reasons why you can't do it in NEOS and stuff, it doesn't mean that you cannot gather some pictures of examples of spaces that you like, either digital or analog, and make a little like mood board. So, because I think it's not about only building a practical space. I mean, this exercise is also making a space that in a way represents you as a maker, as a designer, as a researcher, as a thinker. So it's not only, of course, about just make a space. It's where you can work, but it's also, of course, a great way to sort of meet each other, get to know each other, and get different perspectives on what NEOS could be. But if you feel that you don't have, as of yet, the equipment and the time to really build it in 3D, at least you can make maybe some pictures or gather like a Pinterest board or whatever you feel is handy for you, and then make a little corner here and just say, these are my fantasies, these are my inspiration, modes of inspiration. This is the films that I love, whatever. So it's also about getting to know each other a little bit. So I hope you manage to sort of figure that out in today or tomorrow or something like that. I think that would really be interesting and helpful.
I get some screenshots from some games I like. Some
for example,
inspiration.
And then you talk about that. You present it here. You just pull in those screenshots and you talk to your team and explain these things. This is one of the reasons why we have this shared room as well. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. So we have, last but not least, one more.
Yeah. Okay, so everyone needs to turn on flying and no clip first.
Turn off or on?
Turn it on. Turn on flying and no collision.
No. Okay. No clip.
So the no clip
flying,
one.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm already on.
I think so too.
I like how different worlds, there's already rules set in place, like, oh, make sure to do this or this, that's an 8.
Oh,
Does it work
session has,
or not?
it said session has ended,
Oh,
so...
you should go back into it.
Yeah, it's friends only, by the way, so I don't know if Mater can join.
I'll
you
add
need
you.
to first become
I'm adding
friends,
you as
I
a
guess.
friend. Robin?
Yeah. And I don't have Lotte as friend either. So
How dare you?
I just noticed.
But are you running now already a session, Robin?
No.
Oh,
Please do, because then we can join you. There you go. Host is... I get a
I
red...
guess we're still
some
waiting for
red
them to, I
message.
think, probably to load in.
Not sure if he did the right... Nope. Okay, let's see if we can join Robin then.
Nice. Ooh. Oh, did you sculpt this?
No, it's just from internet or the NEOS Essentials. I'm not a free artist or anything.
Mm-hmm. I like the light that you get here, like that already gives you a different feel immediately.
Yeah, I think one of the things I like most about digital art is your lighting.
Okay, we all joined you.
Yeah. Alright, so I see myself as a theater director and not really a game artist or designer, or really not a game designer. And I was wondering a lot about what should I do with this space, because I don't really have the feeling that I think my team has about it being meditative or relaxing or anything. So I use it mainly as a way to show my research, my ideas, and make it visual. Half of what I actually built, where I see my personal space, is in the classroom, so it's physical. And I've put up entire notes on walls and mind mapped them, and it works together, sometimes in combination with this world. So I want to have different perspectives on my research, where some is just in the classroom, and it's mainly just post-it notes and lines between them, stuff like that. And then I use the VR space to make it a lot more visual and to get a different way to show my ideas and present them. So I've decided to organize them between time, senses, and perspective.
And worlds.
And worlds, which is just, to go to friends and stuff like that. There's also basically there's no colliders and stuff, and if a texture doesn't load, I'm like, fuck it, because I really don't care. It just doesn't add a feeling to me or in any way, except like abstract objects, like using the word time is just a shitload of objects, and then I put world orbs over there to get to a different world, where inside different worlds I can present my ideas. Which I want to show you guys one that I made this week at Perspective, so follow me.
We're going to Plastic Beach.
Textureless Beach, which is this one. So I think I just start the session again.
Yeah, this is Plastic Beach. This is just... Oh.
So this is it on? Yeah. This is basically how I worked out a theater piece and put up my project plan and how I wanted to organize and present things. And doing it this way was actually really good for me, because first I didn't really understand like what should I do with NEOS, and everyone, and you automatically go to like 3D models and how should it be designed. But then I realized, well, I don't really need chairs. I can just put up JPEGs of chairs. I can just put up JPEGs of lights. And in half an hour, I just made this, and I made my idea for a theater piece visual, and I immediately thought, okay, this is very centered around one stage, which I didn't like. So I'm already thinking about, I should add different rooms or use different floors or different buildings in the physical space.
Yeah.
And so I've been thinking a lot about space outside VR, because I kind of thought a lot about it, and I don't really like being in VR, which is a shocker. I really like looking at people in VR. I think that's way more exciting because I can fantasize about the entire virtual reality world, what it can be. But if I get in it, I'm bored mostly about what it is. And I'm annoyed about what it isn't. And it should be an extension of senses. And, the VR and the virtual world is a way to present different natural laws of the world, but it usually doesn't. There's gravity, there's a body. I mean, you use your own body, which I already think is kind of boring. So I'm more looking about what can we do with VR that expands upon the normal world and not represent what we do in the normal world or just what we see in video games or films, where it's just everything's kind of flat. So my research is a lot about that. I've also tried to use a Kinect to scan the classroom, but my computer couldn't handle it. It was for photogrammetry as well. But I got it working, so I know that. And I'm thinking a lot more about, theater, live performance, actors, the physical embodiment of actors. Also, I want to use a lot more clothing and even dance choreography, because I felt like it could really work in VR and outside of VR. And stuff like that. And I've got a lot of questions about all everything mostly outside of VR and about senses. I've been researching a lot about senses, and I've got a couple of books in the classroom. And yesterday I went to the museum, Van Abbe Museum in Eindhoven, and I got a presentation about inclusivity and handicaps and museums for blind people, for deaf people, museums about your smell or your hearing. So I'm gathering that research in NEOS as well, and I'm organizing those in rooms, so I can always just move through them, grab them, and because it's just a world orb, you can always, you can easily organize them and just keep them wherever, and I don't want everything in my main hub and just immediately there.
Is there another room that you can show us that shows such experiments?
The room's there, but it's still empty because I still need to gain some of the material from the presentation. The PowerPoint still needs to be sent.
Sure.
So that's about it, and I'm glad that I really found a function to use NEOS for myself.
Yeah.
Did you know that you can use Kinect inside here, Robin?
No, I didn't. I'm trying.
Volumetric video.
No, I didn't actually. I was Googling stuff like using Kinect or Arduino in NEOS, but there's just no documentation, so I don't really know what's possible and what isn't.
Documentation is very limited in NEOS, unfortunately.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff that you'll have to learn besides like maybe what's there is in Probable Crimes videos and things, we'll have to be asking specific users that are in NEOS.
Yeah.
Or especially the Discord. Asking questions in the Discord probably would be your best friend in that, like questions and help.
Yeah. And I just managed last week, because of course I want to connect NEOS to the physical space as well, of course. I just managed together with Galfix, who's like an AI programmer, super tech guy, to connect OSC streams through WebSockets to NEOS. So you can basically now connect DMX, ArtNet, OSC, whatever kind of protocols to NEOS logics. So that, whether you're using Arduinos or other sensors, or you just want to have clear lights to respond to things inside of NEOS and vice versa, you can.
Cool. I wanted to know that, because I've worked with we've worked with data sending at Jans Kerkhoff,
Exactly.
but I didn't know if we could actually send data to NEOS, so that's good to know.
Yes.
So we can
WebSockets
actually
are a very recent development in NEOS, which is really nice. And we did manage now to get OSC data streams in. And then I will show you some interesting software that is also for free that can build translations between other kind of protocols and OSC.
cool.
And it's all like graphic user interface based. So yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, so I've been thinking a lot about using Arduino, using augmented reality, virtual reality inside physical spaces, and motion capture, stuff like that, because I basically want to combine all of them if I can.
Yeah, but I'm already. I like how you use it now, as you say, as a sketchpad, also almost like a physical sketchpad for environments and possible ideas for performances, etc. So that is already very interesting and functional. So should we jump back to your main world?
No, because it's just empty right now. It's just what you saw already, so we can go back to the torture chamber, I think.
Okay, it's up to you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Gotta figure out how to close this session.
Pedro's gone.
What's that?
Pedro's weg. There you go.
He's very tiny, just
I was
floating around.
tiny.
Okay, so how do you close a session on desktop?
Go to your dash menu, click on Home, and you'll see up in the upper left right-hand corner it says Leave World.
There you go.
Oh,
Just
now
before
we
we
jumped here.
there's a progression of worlds, so it will then go back all the steps that we made. But I'm curious that so the assets that we see here, they're already made, or are there also your modeling?
No, just put them, just grab them from online, because I don't really want to 3D model or do a lot of that work. I think I don't really enjoy it, so I just pick models from online, and you've got something in a couple of minutes. You just got a space filled with stuff.
You got Plastic Beach from the Gorillaz album, Plastic Beach.
Sure, that's what it is. Yeah.
No, it is. I know for sure.
Nice.
Okay, let's go back to the main world. But thank you, Robin, for rounding this wonderful tour off with great ideas and exciting new perspectives.
Yeah, of course, no problem.
Oh, this room looks so boring now.
Interesting remark.
There we are.
Okay, so Madra just shared a folder where he put all the pictures that he made for our tour. By the way, if you don't know how to share folders, or I don't know if you do. Do you know how to share folders?
I guess that's a no.
That was a question. No. Everybody's not quiet.
I
All right. Here we go.
I'll just watch.
Okay, so have a look on this.
Click on the folder name. I shared my inventory. Let's see. It's a bunch of it's a giant mess. So I just have to find where yours. So it might not be there. So we'll just make a fake one. So it's Creator Jam Public. I would click on this little. You would do it in your dash menu, but the envelope, and so the envelope makes a share folder, and this folder is anything that you put inside it. Will be shared, so other people can grab these items.
Yeah.
Like this. You won't be able to select on any of it because it's it's not. This is my private UI is made public, but only I can select on the directories and things. So it's still protected in that way. This is legacy. It's old NEOS. You can't do it this way. Well, you can, but it's a little bit more. And you're welcome to have this folder too. And you'll find that there's a lot of public folders that have lots of good items to learn from and utilize.
I just spawned for you a world which is called a directory. It's now floating above the monitor here. If you go there later on, it is actually a world that has all public folders of well-known developers of NEOS.
Yes.
So you can just fill your inventory with a shitload of folders of other makers. Don't go there yet, though, because we want to stay together for a moment. I'll just leave it here. So if you save this space later on, at least you know that you can go there and go wild in collecting stuff. I want to propose maybe like a 10-minute break. I at least need to go to the bathroom for a moment. I don't know how is everybody doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, I could use a bathroom break as well.
Yeah,
Just
bathroom
grabbing a
break.
drink.
Should we say 10 minutes? Medra, I'm not sure because it's now like getting morning for you, so I don't know how you're doing.
I'm good. Like, this is invigorating to see such creative peeps all doing things. It's exciting. So yeah, I'll stay up with you all till your class is over. How long is your class last? Unless you'd rather me not be around, but that's okay too.
We'll first do maybe a general evaluation where we are. There might be some more like class-specific stuff that we want to do together, of course. But yeah, if you can join in 10 minutes or so, we can do a general evaluation and also maybe talk about how we can work with you in a few weeks or so. So that would be great. Okay, what's the time now? The time is 12, so let's come back 1:15, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Medra?
Yes, what's up?
I need to say hi from Napo and Blueberry.
Hi from who?
Napo and Blueberry.
Oh, sure. I don't know who Napo and Blueberry is. Is that one of the people that were here?
No, they're like people that hang out with the dev team.
Let's see if I'm there on my contacts list.
They know you, at least. They just messaged me on Discord. Say hi to Medra for me.
Oh, that's cool. I might have met them before. I'm so bad. Like, basically, I've met so far over 600 people, and so normally I can recognize it, but definitely.
Wait, I have a picture of him. This guy.
Oh, yeah, Napo. Yeah, I know Napo. Yeah, once I saw that picture, I'm like, yep. Yeah, they were at the last jam.
Yeah. Napo and me are big buddies now.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It looks like you all have a really great class. This is exciting. Like, everyone has like different skills, different interests, and so that's going to, I think, overlap in a way that someone will be able to have a perspective. Say, hey, have you thought about it this way? You're like, no. And the personalities are really positive. That's going to be fun.
I think so too. It's like a lot of diversity, and then we have like people that aren't even from this like study or what you want to call it. Join from theater and from the university, so they all come together. So we literally have a really big interdisciplinary team of people that have different like motivations and like what they want to do, and that's for me pretty cool because like I like everything. I'm really interested in everything, and like, oh, I want to try that, and I want to try that. Oh, how would I do that? And then I'm like,
it's dangerous too sometimes.
Yes. Then it's the middle of the night, and then you're like, maybe I should go to bed.
Yeah, that's why I'm up right now. Like, we're working on a voting system for the contest. Ooh. And I was coming in to actually do something else, but because that person is one of the experts, it's the person's tutorials that you're seeing Probable Prime. And basically, I want to make sure to be able to help with that, and we have a system set up that's going to be quite robust, so that way it can try and keep from cheaters and people trying to rig the system, which we're probably not going to get much of, but there's a lot of tinkers in here, and some of them might find it fun to try and mess with it. And yeah, but I ended up staying up, and I saw yours was on. I'm like, usually there's always something going on with yours. He's doing something cool.
Yeah.
It's like, and when it was your all's class, I'm like, I was really excited to meet you and see what your first project, how everyone's turned out. And quite frankly, I was impressed. I thought that they would be less creative, and that isn't trying to insult anyone, but like a lot of times students' first steps, it's difficult to think of concepts, but you all did a great job with it.
No, but that's when we went in here, we were like, okay, we try at least to work at it 5 days a week. But you can do it on your own time. You can do it on your own pace. You can.
That's perfect.
Like, if you need help, we'll be there. We have some people that are really good with logics, with some people that are really good with the basics. Because I wanted to learn the basics of NEOS first before I started creating anything.
Of course.
So like, I know where to find everything, and that's good because some people still don't know. Like, you can save stuff, etc. Like, then I'm there for them, you know, I can help them. And then we have people that are, like I said, really good with logics, that people like to think more, like to take notes. They have just different perspectives in those situations.
So what's your favorite thing so far? What are your main interests?
My main interest, well, I'm a 3D artist at uni.
Okay.
So,
what kind of 3D? Like, are you talking about environmental, modeling, texturing? What type of 3D artist?
If I knew, I would let you know.
Okay, fair enough. There's nothing wrong with liking a bunch of all of it. I'm more of a generalist in that way. Like, I come from a painting background, but also like a heavy sculpture interest. But computer graphics is my passion, and so I kind of know a bit of everything. And then here now I know logics, and that's what's nice about this. This is, you're building up, like, being a generalist is helpful in a NEOS environment. And so I think you'll find a good place here. I'm glad you're already exploring and meeting others, because I think personally, almost everyone here, unless they're really reclusive, that NEOS offers a lot in terms of helping out each other. Right now it's a special community, which, if you all know what VR chat is or any of the other social platforms, this is a very unique cultural environment, which won't always be where everyone is very helpful. You could just type in, like, you're working on a world and say, please help. You'll have probably 5 people pop in that are, some are experts, some are just kind of in the middle, and they'll help you out with logics. They'll answer questions, maybe even more than you want. But that's really cool to have that kind of care and love that people are willing to just share and learn from each other. That's something not natural in the regular world, but it is definitely kind of similar to college environments. Like, you'll have a hangout environment where you're all hanging out, and then, you know, you're working on your own thing, and then you get kind of worn out, and you're like, okay, let's look around, see what someone else is saying, and then you get inspired by seeing something else cool that someone's making. I can see, I think you all were kind of getting interested in, like, oh, I didn't think about that idea or this thing.
Yeah,
it's like that.
Definitely, because it's I joined for the first time, and after 5 minutes there were like 6 people in my room, under which was Napo and Nexalon were in my room, and I was like,
good.
And I was like, how did you guys join? What the fuck is this? What the fuck? Who are you guys? And everyone started talking. We're like super nice, and me myself, I'm used to playing and working in a really like toxic environment.
Yeah.
So this is refreshing that people were actually helpful, and I don't have to like pressure people to do things for me. They just do it out of like because they want to, because they're interested in it as well, you know.
Yeah, it's a heavy creator community, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
As yours was saying, it's very tinker heavy. So you all coming in with a lot more conceptual stuff, which people don't have to be. When I just saying that doesn't mean someone has to be conceptual to be good or anything like that, but it's neat to see different perspectives. And so you all add an extra element, which I would strongly encourage, and I'm sure yours will probably mention this later, to come out to the Creator Jam if you have time on a Sunday. The idea is to keep that environment, so someday if NEOS becomes a toxic place, or at least it has toxic elements, that there's one place you can go to that's has the old version of what NEOS is, where people are friendly, helpful, you learn stuff, and you build together.
That's why I have this picture.
Yeah.
No, it's insane, because Napa just, when I'm online and he's at home, he just joins my world, and he's like,
Napa's super nice.
Oh, hey there. And then he just, if I need something and I can't figure it out, I'll ask Napo, and if Napo doesn't figure it out, he'll just keep coming back until we have figured it out. Like, it's like,
yes.
He just keeps coming back. It's so funny, because then I'm working, and all of a sudden I look behind me, and he's just standing there fiddling with my stuff, and he's like, oh yeah, don't worry about it. And I'm like, no, I won't worry about it, because, you know, it's like, No, I mean, to be safe, we've become like good friends in a relative short period of time. I'd say.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. No, like, well, what I personally also like to explore more with is, like, I have a background in film and movies.
Oh, perfect.
So I want to like see if I can do anything with that, and maybe combine it with something Robin is doing from his perspective, like his theater. I'm not probably
You
right.
definitely can. Have you tried out the streaming cameras at all yet?
Well, I'm streaming right now.
Oh, what? You're streaming from OBS?
Yeah, I'm streaming from OBS. I mean, I don't know if you can see this.
No.
Oh, yeah, basically.
Okay, you know that you can. Are you using? Oh, you're doing Twitch. You know you can. There's a Twitch camera that you can use directly.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. There's Go to your dash menu.
Mm-hmm.
Are you?
I mean.
You're not in. You're not in desktop mode, are you?
I am in desktop mode, so if it doesn't work.
Okay, I think you can still do it.
Yeah.
I think.
Let's try it.
Go to your dash menu.
Mm-hmm.
Home, and then there's camera streaming. You see that?
Yes.
And
Yeah,
the camera streaming will be on the right-hand side. You'll see where it like says leave world, and then there's like freeform dash on and all that stuff. Go all the way down where it says camera streaming.
Yeah, I have it, I think. Is it this one, right? The camera control?
Yep. And then there's camera controls, and you can see there's a Twitch one down below. Like there's like little tiny things inside the camera screen that pops up.
Mm-hmm. So
and you can actually, and you can see there's Twitch chat, and then one above it is you can connect. And so you have to, with the OBS, you have to download the WebSocket plugin for OBS, but you can actually directly stream from NEOS, and you could have this streaming
camera.
The streaming camera, and you can. There's lots of functionality that you can mess with. You can set up camera anchors, so you could have scene switching and all kinds of stuff. You have like other people being the camera.
Awesome.
Camera operators, and
then that way you can basically make your own edit while you're live on Twitch.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, you can have your A and B switching and stuff like that just immediately.
That's awesome.
And if you have multiple people, you could have multiple people filming, so you could have as many cameras, as many users as you want streaming out. Pretty fantastic.
That's cool. I'm definitely gonna try that.
There's a lot more to it, but that's just some of it. Yeah.
But I'm only grasping at like the top, right? We're just getting in it.
Oh my goodness. I know, this is such a great platform. You all have, it's quite a luxury. Not luxury, but it's like a really exciting opportunity.
I mean, it was either that or visualized data for water for farmers or something.
Oh, is that what it was? Some fishery thing?
Yeah,
otherwise?
Something like water irrigation for farmers and then visualize their data or something. I don't know.
What a difference.
So I'm glad I chose this as number one.
Good. And I think you'll find that what you're looking for, Robin, inside NEOS, that there'll be a lot of good things to do with like stage and set design and being able to do conceptualization and stuff like that within it.
Yeah, I think so. Because in my play, I was already integrating like Twitch streaming, augmented reality, multiple VR perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
So and even without like these tools, I can already do a lot. So imagine having this team who are really into tools. We can do so much.
Yeah. You have a great class, George. Holy crap! Wow, you're a fantastic teacher. So this is going to be like, I mean, I know it sounds like I'm telling you, like no. I can tell these things. I was a teacher for a decade. I can see personalities that like overlap really well and feed off each other, and it's already there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. And it's nice. I mean, I wanted to make actually a better mix still of theater makers and games and interaction design students. But it went the way it went, and I'm super happy that Robin is part of this as well. But see where it goes.
Yeah. Lotte has to leave, so she'll join us tomorrow for a meeting, but she wanted me to let you know.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I see the Discord indeed. Yeah. That's fine. Hey Lotte. So you need to leave, huh? Let's make sure next time we have your voice working, because
That's kind of useful.
Yeah. But I'm already super happy that we could do this, and I'll ask the students to make a summary of what we have discussed then in the next 45 minutes or so, and put that on the Discord or mail it to you and Stefan. So that would then be smartest thing to do. And let's hook up later today maybe or tomorrow about the whole logistics of hardware and software and stuff like that. Great.
Bye.
Bye.
I can't wave.
I'm waving at my screen.
Same. I'm waving, just imagine.
I'll wave with my face.
Take care. It's nice meeting you, Lotte.
So let's see, how are we in time? Yes, it should be time. So are we all there?
Ryan got kicked from NEOS and he got forced to update and now he can't join the world anymore.
Oh, that is an issue. Yeah. Then we all need to update actually.
Yeah, I got a
Did it
notification.
already? Okay.
Yeah, I get forced out of the game.
Hmm? Ja, maar... Nou ja, meer van, ik werd dus ook, ik drukte op escape, ik klikte op home en ik werd er ook uitgekikt. Net als bij Pepijn. Oh, wacht, dat staat gewoon op mijn hoofdmenu. Kan ik wel even wat water gaan pakken terwijl je opstart. Kan jij mijn wereld dan ook openen? Ja, mij ook niet.
Ik zou hem updaten dan.
Ja, maar hij heeft al, kijk. Hier.
Steam?
Eerst NEOS even afsluiten. Ja, there we go. Steam.
Download.
Stone, ja, Stone. En dan download NEOS 4. Hij heeft hem al
hij heeft hij net gedaan. Oh, is 2 MB.
Hij heeft letterlijk geüpdate. Wow, oké. Zou je dan die wereld kunnen aankomen? Ja.
I'm back.
Ja.
Oh, ik ben Lotte.
Ben je niet 2D Lotte?
Oh, dan moet ik mezelf wel even muten trouwens.
Hallo.
All right.
Hello? Yuri is veranderd in Lotte.
Nee, dat is Lotte.
Waarom zat er Yuri boven de naam dan?
Someone turn on some music in here?
Oh, ik ben Lotte.
Alright, there we go.
Domme.
Ja. you did save actually the session. That's nice.
Oh, geen paniek.
I was wondering when they closed it. I thought they didn't.
No,
Yeah,
I
it
was
went
thinking
by
the same.
really
Like, oh fuck, here we go.
No, I saved it. Don't worry.
Nice.
I'm an idiot, but not a complete idiot.
Scaling with the index controllers is not the best thing in the world, I have to say. Let's see, I need one more. Mirna, invite here. Or is she using an old version still?
Or is this Myrna?
Oh,
Nee,
Mirna
dit is
is
gewoon de
using an
avatar,
old
denk ik.
version still. We need to.
Dit is gewoon de
Can
avatar.
somebody,
Message them.
yeah,
hell?
can somebody message Mirna?
She was blinking, I thought it was her.
Yeah.
But what's this? Is her avatar because it's still blinking?
No,
Yeah,
it blinks. It blinks even if she isn't here.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you can click it and you can become her, so we can all become.
We can all become Mirna.
So weird.
Do you have a first assignment that's similar to this, like as far as the layout and everything and pictures?
Yeah, the first assignment is the one to the left. That's what they actually just did. They made the worlds and a shared world. And additionally to that assignment, there's something about the research questions, and that's something we need to now talk about.
Cool.
But I was also still having... Where was it? Was it this one? 7.
Is it okay if I save these images? I love it. Like I want to think about
Yeah,
these
sure.
these ideas. If there's anything that's
let's see.
Oh, whoops, that's the wrong thing.
Well, this you know, but I'll just put it there anyway.
oops.
Oh, fuck.
Are these originally from a PowerPoint? Or
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, they are.
Very
And
old-fashioned.
very old-fashioned, old school.
Here they do the trick for layout.
I think it's then number 6. It's so annoying that it doesn't have thumbnails.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's another
7.
rain dance. There's a rain dance experience festival thing that's coming up soon, I think, as well.
Okay, cool.
I just found out about that today or yesterday.
Oop.
These are great.
Then
Oh god, what have you done, Joris?
11.
Dit heb ik niet gedaan, Randy. Dit was er al.
Ja, tuurlijk, dit was er al.
What have
Smoesjes.
you done?
Smoesjes.
Nee, je bent vrij om mij niet te geloven. Ik weet de waarheid.
Ik weet de waarheid ook. Oh, iemand beweegt die berg, wat?
So,
Wow, wat gebeurt er?
Randy?
Oh, die...
Kan je deze sessie weer even saven als wereld? Want ik heb geen zin om mijn slides iedere keer weer te positioneren, zeg maar.
Ja, en het gedaan. Hij is opgeslagen.
Oké.
Hij staat ook op autosave, dus.
Alright, there you go. Mirna is online, that's good.
Yes, I'm here, guys.
Yay, there she is. Excellent.
Ik moet mezelf even op mijn honden gaan tekeer.
Okay, let's quickly do this for a moment.
Was Lotte already online again?
She needs to leave.
She, yeah, exactly.
Different classes to teach.
Oh, okay.
She'll be with us tomorrow. So she's asked how late we want to meet tomorrow with her and Stefan. She suggested something between 2 and 4, so I just said 2 seems fine.
Oh,
But
thank God.
if everyone else is fine.
Imagine if it was a 9:15 again. Then I would have...
Just imagine the horror.
Yeah, but then I would have no sleep, literally, dude. I have a long travel time, alright?
Okay, so we have another like maybe 45 minutes max to discuss both sort of where we are now and everything you presented, but also look forward a little bit in time for, let's say, the coming 2 to 3 weeks or so, where it is that we're going. I have sort of posted the slides that you know hopefully very well here in the room. Basically, so you sort of stay in check with the eventual assignment. And I think these rooms you have already now showed to me are really, really a great start. I'm very excited, and I'm actually quite amazed and inspired by what you've shown me as your private workrooms, but also how you are now conceptualize ideas in a space. Because I think that is really, instead of immediately starting to talk about storytelling, I think the focus for us for the next few weeks is really on the space. So how to design spaces that invoke certain experiences and how they direct us going from A to B to C, how it can turn into a walk or a walkabout. How spaces invoke certain behavior or certain thoughts, how they ask questions, to me is really what we should focus on for the next few weeks. So I certainly hope that what you have started to now build as your own private space, you continue to elaborate on, and maybe also this thinking room can indeed expand to the fringes of, sketches and stuff. Make sure if you do new concepts, maybe put them in different worlds so you can then indeed have like a selection of world orbs. So it's very important to document all the sketches that you have. And then, of course, eventually, and this is, I think, an important thing to do is to stay in touch with the idea that in the end, of course, it's an embodied experience. So where, of course, some of you are already thinking about how to engage the body and how to engage or connect to a physical space. I think it's very important that we start first brainstorming a little bit about how we can engage the body more before we start connecting all sorts of spaces. Like I said, I'm still sitting in a chair. Maybe next time we make up some sort of workshop or some sort of world that really asks me to stand up. And maybe I have to put a blanket on the floor so the floor feels soft. Or maybe I have to take my shoes and socks off so I can, bare feet, stand in water. Or, stuff like that. So to do little experiments that are not necessarily already asking for high technology solutions, but are already challenging us to experience the spaces that you're making in a more embodied way and go from there. And keep that as low tech as possible. There's a lot of stuff we can already try out by just stepping away from the conventions of how we would probably normally be behind our computers. So that would be my tip for the coming weeks in the experiments that you do. I noticed that when you're showcasing your worlds, as of yet, there's not a lot of personal research questions, which I understand. I mean, they're there, but they're more implicit than explicit. So I think next to building worlds and experiencing stuff and trying things out, I think it's important you also start writing a little bit. So make some notes for yourself. If you're doing that already, that's great. But then really look back at the part 2 assignment where you start asking a few research questions that help you also focus. And the research questions are then divided in different thematic layers. So it's about artistic vision, technological innovation, strategies for embodied design, which I was just mentioning already, but also interdisciplinary collaboration. So I'm like super happy to see you're already making friends in NEOS, and as you have noticed, some of the people in NEOS are more technically inclined, more like tool builders. Others are more maybe designers or even performers. So see if you can also make some connections with other people and build maybe sometimes teams for little sub projects. I can also imagine that if you feel you want to try out things with performers or maybe text writers or maybe people from the Master of Architecture. I mean, you're in the IBB already with music technology and fine art, or at least design. So there's already students that you can think about, but before you involve them, you start, of course, with asking questions yourself. And then we can think about how to involve those other people for sub-projects or parts of what we're going to prototype. Now, now that Medra is here and remarkably awake still, because what's the time now for you, Medra?
Let's see. It is 6:32.
32 what?
Yeah.
What hour?
It's 6:32 a.m.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm running on crazy energy tonight. I think it's just exciting, like getting to see everyone build.
Okay.
And
could you maybe briefly come here and tell us a few things about the Sunday Creator Jams, and maybe additionally a little bit about the competition? And then I think for you, it's important to think about what is it you want to learn in NEOS that we can maybe use a Creator Jam for, or maybe have a custom workshop. So already think of a few things you want to ask or put on the table to say, it would be great if we can learn this, or it would be great if we can practice or exercise that. Is that a question, Robin, or you just like
this
to
is
have
a question
mark in front of your face?
No, I've got a question, but I can't raise my hand, so I just downloaded an image real quick.
If you have a question, you can speak up. That's perfect.
Yeah, because it's still about the research and the research question. I just wanted to do that real quick.
Okay, yes.
I found that my research questions are changing really rapidly. Right now, I'm just documenting everything.
Yeah.
And just separating them by week and by subject. But is that still like the way to go, or should I start focusing already?
I would say yes and yes. So yes, it's normal that things change when you think them through. But it might be that certain things you not only want to think through, but also try out a bit more before you already elaborate further in thoughts. So I would advise you to balance a bit the doing and the thinking more, and then see if you can keep up the pace that you have now in terms of research questions. So that would be my first advice. And of course, we can look together at you know, the tree of thoughts that you have and say, because it feels like everything is connected and equally important, but really, and I noticed this in my own research, if you really start talking about it, one thing is more interesting to you than another. So, you know, creating focus at some point and say, okay, I commit myself for the next week to this particular question, often is more productive than to keep this whole web of interrelated subjects in the air.
True.
Yeah. And if you have already such a lot of those subjects, just make a choice, because it will force you to also then think like, okay, I'll go for that one. Does that actually feel good? No, I'd rather go for that one. Or maybe it's a combination of two. But don't make it immediately trying to do everything. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, makes sense. Cool.
Metra.
yes. All right. I saw you didn't have the Discord thing there, so I'll add that there too.
Perfect.
So, and you can click on this and it will open up a web browser in your on your computer. So basically what I do is it's an open. Okay, I guess how much time do I have? I don't want to get too winded.
No, you don't have to be too formal. So just say, you know, so you have Creator Jams every Sunday.
Okay.
And how does that work? Can they just basically show up? What's the general idea?
Sure thing. I wasn't. Basically, they're created. The general spiel is, I'm not going to get into why we do it or anything else like that, but you come out. It's a world-building event where people get together. We have a different theme, and then we build out based on that theme and then share it open source style with everyone. So everything that's built in there is with the understanding that other people will be able to use and reuse it. And then ideally also with Creative Commons licensing by license, which is by, and people can make it public domain if they wish. And so it's a great environment to go to just to meet people. Personally, for me, I prefer to have a reason to be hanging out. And so it's a place to not just meet people, but to build and learn from each other. So you can go there and know it's a safe space to just say, hey, what are you doing there with that logic? And they're like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm doing this. And like, can you help me out with this? And usually people will be willing to do so. And so it's a lot of what NEOS is already about, but it's also combined within a type of purpose. And so we have that every Sunday. It starts at, let's see, so it's your CET, so it's about 8 o'clock
or 9
in the
evening often. Yeah.
8 o'clock, yeah. And so it goes on for anywhere from 8 hours to 10 hours straight. So we build it out.
Do you already have a theme for coming Sunday?
Yep, I'm crashing also, I can tell, so I'll have to come back in. But if you all can still hear me.
Yeah.
The theme this coming Sunday is trees, which sounds, I keep the themes a little lighter than being heavily conceptually because a lot of the people in NEOS are tinkerers. And can you all still hear me? I'm going to kind of keep asking until I truly explode.
I'm fine. Can everybody hear
okay.
him?
Yep.
Yeah. And so this one is kind of using the idea of trees as a element. So there'll be probably things that deal with like tree houses, places to climb in, canopies, playing around with maybe scale, a lot of things dealing with the idea of climbing and balance, I think.
I see.
But we'll see how much people utilize it. I found that this month is actually a bad month for creator jams, and I should probably make them very light because of the contest itself. Let me check, see if NEOS is finally dying on me. Can you all hear me still?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
So I'll talk about is that pretty clear on what creator jams do?
No, absolutely.
Yeah, clear for me.
Yeah, talk a little bit about the maker competition because you kicked it off in September.
That's right. September 1st was the start of it, and it will end on October 1st. And it's a month-long jam. It has prizes about $2,000 US dollars total in prizes, but it's broken down into like worlds, avatars, and then everything else, which counts as like gadgets, tools, art pieces, could be lighting from theater pieces, all kinds of stuff. And so basically anyone can participate, and basically there's no requirements for like entry, except for when you participate, you have to put whatever you've made. If it's a world, then you're going to publish it as a world. If it's, let's say, some kind of cool object, you put that inside a world and publish that. And when you publish it, it will need to have the tag of the name MMC and the type of category. And so there's a lot of information that can be found on Discord that can tell you more about that, like a document that kind of goes over the rules and everything else. But mainly just wanted to kind of get, right now this is just kind of a taste test, like say, hey, this is what's offered around here, and I can give more information if you wish. But the idea is to encourage people to kind of build. NEOS, sometimes people really need an extra like push to sit. There's a lot of tinkers, and just having an extra little reason is enough for someone to really build out a beautiful world or make some kind of really spectacular tool. And so the idea is to build that kind of camaraderie and excitement, both in like the events.
Yeah, so I can imagine that 2 weeks is a bit short to join the competition. But as far as I'm concerned, of course, on a private note, you're most welcome to join the competition if you want. It's, of course, a great exercise, but it might also create some exposure if you want other people to look at your work later on. Because I guess when the whole event is finished, Meta is probably restarting. When the whole event is finished, they're going to do, of course, a tour of all the works that are made. So I think in 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, we can ask Meta for the precise date. It would be really great together to sort of do a tour through all these competition assignments and see what worlds and other stuff people have made. So that would be at least my suggestion. Are there any topics right now that you feel you like to work on together as a group in terms of learning? And I mean learning every single aspect that NEOS has to offer that you feel would be great to do, maybe with the help of Medra as a workshop leader. Or maybe you want to say, I want to do a tour with the Creator Jam Worlds, for example. So these are things that we can organize. Medra has already said that he would be willing to do that for you. But then, of course, we have to first make up our minds on what it is we would like to do. Medra just said that they're of course welcome to join the competition, but 2 weeks is not very long. But we would love to. Is there an event when the competition is closed and then the prizes and everything? Is there going to be a tour or some sort of event that we can join and see all the things?
Yes, there's multiple things you can do. There's going to be on the scheduling for this. I can't remember the exact date. I want to say this 10th of October, which will be a Saturday. Which will, I think, also be at 8 o'clock in the evening. Could be wrong. I need to look at that. There will be a large prize event, and then we will explore after that. And I would suspect there'll be a minimum of 40 people in the room, so everyone will be in flat avatars. I mean, we supposedly have 90 participants, and so if all 90 participants, ideally, right now, I'm going to lock it down to participants if it's so large. But the world tours, what's cool is everyone will still be able to tour the worlds because if you type in the words MMC, you can already do that now. There's 3 MMC worlds. They're really light stuff right now, capital. But Bruxis will be changing it so it's not case sensitive, which will be nice. And you'll be able to check them out. And so they'll be there for historic record. But
so we can also do a tour together later,
I'd be happy
maybe
to.
in a private sense. Yeah, okay, great. So for you, just to open up the discussion, are there things that you feel you want to explore, do together as a group in NEOS that maybe Matt could facilitate and help on? Are there any thoughts on that?
What I've thought about is at least I'd love to work with Randy with his film experience and sending data to NEOS from streams or mocap or stuff like that. Just getting data from the physical world to NEOS. But I don't know if there's tutorials worlds or how we should facilitate that.
Yeah, we can look into that. So it's good. Other subjects, other things that you want to work on? Yeah, you can just speak out. It's fine. You don't have to hold up your hand.
My microphone was off. I have my microphone in my pocket. About logics, are there any well, it's weird to ask, but are there any what are they called? Gatherings for lessons of logic of NEOS logics?
Unfortunately, no. But if you were wanting to learn more logics, a Creator Jam is a fantastic place to go to because it's very coder heavy.
All right,
I would say usually there's 50 people that come out total, and there's about 10 to 12 people that are dedicated that work either the entire time, which is nuts, or partially, and about at least half of that are very strong in logics knowledge. And then
all right, cool. So I can just go there. Yeah. And maybe ask them stuff, or just observe. Observing is fine with me.
Absolutely.
All right, cool.
Also, if you're wanting to learn, I can't encourage enough. Obviously, lock down your worlds if you don't want people to touch and move stuff, or figure out a way to set it up so the permissions get up. But to say looking for help, is that okay to do? I should ask you first. I'm sorry. Maybe this exploration doesn't require any help from others, but what is your take on allowing the community come in to help out with logics questions and things like that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, but this is something that we need to also together figure out. So if you're making friends, that's the best way to go about it because you already have a personal relationship. But sometimes, if you're in a world working on something, I notice if there are more than 2 people in a world, it is sort of attracting a lot of other people because they're just, where's the action, so to speak, where's it's nice and gezellig, where can I go? So if you already as a group are working here and you open up this space, I'm sure you will have people popping in like, where did I end up in, So with that logic, you can actually have like logic sessions where you try to figure out things yourself. 3 or 4 people, maybe Matter come in, maybe we invite some other people, we can maybe follow some Prime tutorials. But for sure, when you're doing that session, people will start jumping in. So that is another way to go about it, which is actually quite nice.
And you
but
can
I
limit
can
the
really
users in session
recommend
too.
going to the... Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Now, I can really recommend the Creator Jams because that for me was also the perfect way, like you say, to observe others' work, ask questions, try stuff yourself, and then there's people around who can really help you right away. And I noticed that everybody's like very eager to do problem solving. So if you are in whatever group of people and saying, is it possible? And then, you have some scenario, people immediately will start opening up windows and figure it out. So it's not even that they say, yes, you have to find it there, but they start immediately doing it. So that is, interesting about it. Yeah. Are there any other questions or things that you think would be great to do as a group in the coming 2 weeks?
Sorry, what?
Yeah, Randy, are you saying something?
No, I didn't understand because there's someone else in the room talking right now.
Oh, okay.
For me, it was also mainly logics because, I think we all have like these crazy experiments in our head that we want to try out. But for that, we do need a basic understanding of logics to actually build it. So I think first priority is to get that better.
Okay.
I think a second priority, if not the first one, is to also make sure that you write down those crazy ideas and put them in the space. Because if a coder comes in this room and sees this board that says, I have an idea about this and that with logic and I don't know how it works, for sure they can even say, oh, but I know, and then they start pulling out stuff, So putting them out in the space as concepts, as ideas that you want to work on would already be very useful, also for your own thinking.
That's a good one.
A lot of people in NEOS, to accentuate what yours is saying, love a project. A lot of them, I mean, they'll say, I don't have any ideas, but I have all the skill and know-how, and they might even say that they don't have skill, but they do. And when they hear some kind of cool concept, they're like, oh, I'll help. And next thing you know, 5 hours later, 8 hours later, you're seeing your concepts realized, and you're also learning at the same time. It's fantastic.
I thought, but maybe you are already doing that like crazy, but I thought it would be nice to do a bit of world hopping together. So not only to your own worlds, but maybe to some worlds that some of us feel are interesting to look at. Like tourists, basically, drive around or hopping around, whatever you want to call it, and then sort of enter spaces and then discuss the spaces for their artistic potential or their smart interactions or, whatever we feel is relevant, also concerning your research questions, to sort of, like instead of going to a museum to go through some worlds within NEOS. So I thought to do that with you. I can plan a session, but I first want to know if that would be interesting to you.
Hell yeah.
I'm interested.
Yeah? Okay, because then we can organize it, and I can imagine that maybe Medra has some words from the Creator Jam, or maybe some other worlds that he knows that he said, but then it's great to look at this or that. On top of that, I'd love to also take that session to join, to show my own Prague project that I made a little exhibition space for in NEOS, so I can showcase a bit of my work, which I still promise to do. So let's see if we can do that somewhere next week. And then, I of course will talk to Lotte about the logistics and stuff. So we need to really get you all in NEOS with the VR helmet. But it would really help me and Lotte if you can make a list, if it isn't there already, what you now are missing. So how many computers do we need? How many helmets are still necessary? How many cables? Because I was in the assumption it was already all arranged. So then we need to have a clear shopping list almost. So can you do that as a group? Make sure that that is then posted in the Discord, so Lotte and I can talk numbers and not, guess what is needed.
Yeah, I'll try and
That would be
arrange.
really helpful.
I'll try and arrange the computers today as well. Like make sure
Okay.
Oculus is
Yeah.
installed on it.
Yeah,
If it doesn't work, I'll put it on the list.
Yeah, please do.
we kind of want stuff outside of just technological stuff as well. We just want
Yeah. Yeah.
kast ook weer in het Engels.
Cabinet.
Geen
Cabinet.
kast.
A cupboard, a locker, something you can lock things away, and that would be really smart as well, indeed.
A drawer.
Are there any questions for Medra right now? So is there something that you think of that you're like, okay, can I ask you about this or that, or is it possible? Is it...
Yeah.
What made you like what triggered your interest in NEOS in the first place?
It goes back before NEOS, but it relates. I'm very much interested in VR as an art form because it's just like early film. And so there's tons of unexplored territory. There's not really many rules that have been written at all. With film, there's a film grammar and everything else. So I started off with 360 filmmaking in 2017. And as I was working on that, the plan was to integrate a 360 film that would also be 360, some VR experience that would be some kind of like three-dimensional, like game-like type of thing as far as interactive, and then something that would be volumetric, like a multi-tiered type of experience that would have different episodic aspects. And as I was exploring just free experiences to see what was existing out there in Steam, so I could just kind of see what's existing narratively, I stumbled upon NEOS, and I lucked out stumbling upon NEOS in its early release. I think it was released in May. I found it in July. Maybe it was released in June. It's something like that. And so I went into this, and it was much worse condition than it is now. Like it was hardly usable. I felt like it was like an abusive relationship. It would barely work. And then I'd say, well, this is amazing. And I found it was even then special that you could bring in 360 images and you could bring in assets. And that was just huge for me. Being able to set up lighting and just assets was perfect for doing scene design. And I was like, okay, cool. This would be good for set design. And for a 360 film, you want to be able to visualize it not in just two-dimensional drawings. That doesn't give you the same understanding as having it in 3 dimensions. So being able to be inside some kind of space like this was super exciting, and its utility was very exciting, and being part of the art form. And so that was in 2018. And so basically I've stuck here ever since, because just the idea of being those early pioneers, just like you all are in here, be part of this is too much to miss. Like, I have to do it. And so I'm pretty excited. So yeah, that's what brought me here. Accident, basically. Cool. Happy accident.
Thanks.
Okay. No problem.
So how is everybody? I noticed that I think we're running at the end of our energy arc for a moment. Maybe start having lunch and stuff. So what I suggest is that you watch Discord every day, please, because then I can propose meeting up in NEOS, let's say 2 to 3 days before, and say, hey, I managed to get somebody in to, do whatever with us. So for me, Discord is the only way to sort of communicate with you like that. Sure. So let's at least do that. Post then the requirement list of hardware that you still feel is necessary, or other logistic things that are necessary, so Lotte can also take that up with you either later today or tomorrow. And of course, I will also talk to Jason as soon as he has recovered from the Venice Biennale and his meta movie project tryout. And then I will start organizing with him a meta movie experience for us. And I project that to happen, let's say, in 3 weeks or so. Okay. So it would, of course, be great if we already have a little brainstorm beforehand, or maybe not. But in between is now definitely the phase to learn logics, to get more comfortable with the spaces, to meet people, to do creator jams. And we do some world hopping tours to get some ideas about what works and doesn't work. So that indeed would be the next few steps. And I know it sounds all very theoretical, but please, again, have a look at this slide and start thinking about your research questions on different levels. And if you want to keep a blog or you just post it on a website or you have your own way of documenting that is great. But make sure that you use your private home now to also put those questions in the space and maybe mind map some thoughts there and associations and examples. So make sure you're not just creating nice rooms to lounge in, but really also see it as a space where you work, where you think, where you develop, where and I've seen already great examples, so I'm sure that you can, but keep those spaces also alive. And like you said, I'm super happy and interested what will happen in this space and how it's going to expand. Maybe you need to clean up a bit at some point, which is perfectly fine. But don't throw anything away. Make sure you really document, maybe per week or per 2 or 3 weeks, like like the sessions you had and stuff like that. So that for me would be for now the session. But I'm super excited. I will be in NEOS often in the evenings, but I'm always open. If you say, can you come in maybe tomorrow for half an hour, I want to show you something, I'm very open for those kind of invitations. So either send me an email or throw it on Discord. If I don't respond on Discord, send me an email, so we can meet up in NEOS more often, because of course the big challenge is now, next step is, how are we going to work together here? How is this place going to be our virtual school? And we create meaningful experiences from here. And Robin, I know you're anxious to connect every single physical aspect of the world to stuff that happens in NEOS, but I also want to make sure that we first explore NEOS for what it's already offering, and maybe start with simple physical exercises in relation to the virtual space, instead of immediately already trying to connect all sorts of sensors and hardware to spaces.
Yeah, that's what I want to do first, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I would say definitely in 2 to 3 weeks, I can showcase then how to use like MIDI pads, Arduinos, other sensors, with talking to OSC, going through WebSockets straight into NEOS. So we can also rig your school classroom into like a obstacle course that you then can negotiate with the helmet on in NEOS. We'll see, stuff like that. We can fool around with.
Let's get it done.
Did Medra just crash?
He sank through the floor.
He sank through the floor. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, there he is. Yes, here.
Okay. So Medra, thank you so much for joining us in your free night sleep time, and
no problem.
we'll stay in touch. But thank you so much for joining us, and I'm very happy that you now met everybody already. Can they all friend you? Is that okay?
Of course. Absolutely.
So why don't you shoot on his name?
My name's kind of hidden.
Oh, yes. Well, there it is.
I'll change into a different body. That might help.
So you can send him a friend request, and then it's easier. You also know when somebody is online in NEOS whenever you're jumping into NEOS. So that's always nice.
If this will be easier to select my name there. There we are. And anyone can grab that and for themselves too.
Hell yeah.
So I'm sure you want it. Oh, my lasers. Oh yeah, that's good. I turned them off so I wouldn't click stuff. Yeah, it has smooth. So it's great. Definitely.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Don't forget to save the room, and if it's automatically saved, that's perfectly fine. Talk a little bit about how you're going to negotiate when people jump in and start doing stuff here. And then hopefully we'll meet in a week or so.
Yeah. Good.
Cool.
Oh, one other thing. I will be at the eBay Day in the afternoon, and I'm going to work in the Black Box studio downstairs. And I actually want to also think with you about when we're going to use that studio for some serious physical testing, like indeed creating obstacle courses and physical environments. So I think in a month or so, that would be a feasible thing to do. Maybe in 5 to 6 weeks, but we need to book it. That's the problem. So we cannot say a week before we need it. So we need to already plan a week where we're going to work there. So think about it, but let's make sure we do that.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, have a great lunch, and thank you so much. It was super inspiring. And thanks, Medra.
My pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you all. Nice to meet you all. Are you going to be around for a little bit?
Unfortunately, I have to go, but we can maybe meet later in the week in the evening.
Yeah, no worries. There's no rush. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll contact you through Discord. Hey, thanks so much.
Hey, my pleasure. Thank you for having me in.
All right. Bye.
Let's see ya.
Bye.
Take care, everyone.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Victor?
Ja, Victor kwam uit het lokaal en die was super, die had van Lotte gehoord dat we dit aan het doen waren. En die vond het echt cool, die was super enthousiast van, dat is echt leuk en dat willen wij ook. En...
Nice.
Het is echt leuk hoe iedereen zo enthousiast is.
Toch grappig om te zien.
Hadden wij nou vanmiddag nog met Lotte en Stefan een meeting, klopt dat?
Morgen was dat
dat was gisteren.
Morgen.
Dus,
en morgen.
Ja.
Ik had 2 uur voorgesteld, als dat voor iedereen oké is, kunnen we...
2 uur is voor mij prima.
We hebben sowieso om 1:30 moet iedereen hier zijn, toch? We hebben om 1:30 onze eigen meeting normaal.
Dat is waar.
Staat op het bord hier.
Als iedereen morgen naar school zou kunnen komen, dan zou dat wel top zijn.
Ja, was ik ook van plan.
Eén dingetje. Het is meer een hindrance dan een probleem voor jullie, maar als ik aan het reizen ben, ben ik dus niet meer bereikbaar, want mijn telefoon ligt ergens in een trein.
Oh wauw, dat is goed zeg.
Ja, en ik weet precies waar.
Heb je de NS al gecontact? Misschien hebben ze hem gevonden.
Ik heb ze gecontact, ze zijn bezig denk ik.
Alright. Ja man.
Dat zullen we vanmiddag nog even doen. Eerst even lunch natuurlijk, maar... Wat is de behoefte van iedereen? Wilt iedereen snel terug zijn eigen ruimte het verder doen? Of gaan we kijken van...
Mijn college begint over een kwartier. Ik weet niet wat dan nuttiger is, want ik kan natuurlijk ook nog altijd de recording van het college terugkijken.
Ja, ligt aan wat we willen doen.
Maar ja, ligt aan wat we gaan doen. Als iedereen aan zijn eigen kamer gaat werken, dan kan ik net zo goed nu het college doen.
Ik heb in ieder geval wel een voorstel van wat ik zou willen doen. En ik denk dat is niet zo slim met iedereen te doen, maar met 1 of 2 anderen. Een beetje brainstormen over van die kleine testjes die we in een room kunnen doen. En inderdaad van, leg dit onder je neer of bind je arm vast. Weet je wel, dat soort testjes. Of we daar alvast wat voor kunnen brainstormen.
Oh ja, daar wil ik wel graag bij aanhaken.
Ik ben sowieso hier dus.
En die moet sowieso meeluisteren.
Ik heb geen keuze.
Ik heb nu een hele rare ervaring. Ik zit op de grond, wat echt zoveel anders is dan normaal zitten.
Zit je normaal niet
Het voelt zo raar. Ja, ik zit nu in real life op de grond en het voelt zo raar. Ik zit nu al de hele tijd op de grond en het voelt zo raar. Het voelt meer alsof ik hier echt ben. Which is weird.
Volgende keer gaan we allemaal in VR zitten.
Maar dat is wel ja, nou, je zegt het, maar het is wel een goede test inderdaad.
Ja, interessant iets.
Ik zie me nu ook al voor.
Staan, vind ik persoonlijk. Het voelt zo raar.
Ik zie me nu ook al voor me dat we met z'n 7 werelden op het gewoon allemaal zitten. Allemaal zittende avatars binnenkomen.
Oh, is daar half in de grond bij ons?
Het is in plaats van T-pose to a sort dominance, it's sitting on the floor in VR to a sort dominance.
Waar gaat hij naartoe?
Wat happening? Yuri kan toch alleen maar T-posen.
Autobot rollout.
T-pose live.
Alright, lunchpauze. Zet ons even in Discord of de app wanneer iedereen klaar is, dan kunnen we even weer meeten.
Yes, dat is goed.
Yes. Ja, mijn college duurt tot 3 uur, dus daarna kan ik sowieso weer even.
Ja, dat is goed.
Ik ga weer terug naar mijn kamer en ik ga even kijken.
Ik heb alleen geen moelan. kan mijn bankrekening dus. Pak je telefoon. You like it? Oh, grappig. Ik heb deze gewoon van internet gepakt. Image, ja. Het kost me bijna lekker minder dan een minuut om.
Ja, hij had het al klaarstaan. Al meer, ik zag al vaker wat van. Wereld dat het waarschijnlijk heeft hij gewoon dat ook al in bepaalde logic systemen. Kan je dan direct op nog. Ik ook niet. Maar
Dat begrijp ik.
Ik heb het wel gezien in mijn oriëntatie.
Ik heb één. Kijk of ik een bakje noedels kan kopen voor 5%. Oh god, ik wou het in mijn broekzak doen, maar er zit een gat in.
Oh, je hebt ook niet een andere broek. Oh, je hebt een...
Ik heb een andere broek aan, maar hier zit dus een gat in. Ik kan mijn telefoon niet uit. Nee.
En ik denk ook van, waar ik wel moeite mee heb, ik heb wel een hele sterke mening. En vooral als ik een projectplan heb en we gaan dat uitwerken. Dus ik moet natuurlijk wel leren over die samenwerking. Maar als je dan, ik moet wel zeggen, als ik dan zoiets van pijn hoor en dan een robot shoot game, dan heb ik wel die instelling van, oké, dan ga jij dat gewoon volledig maken. Heb ik er ook geen tijd mee te maken. Ik ga gewoon niet mijn tijd aan besteden.
Nee, maar dan moet dat gewoon persoonlijk zijn.
Maar daarom vind ik het leuk als ik zeg inderdaad, kom kijken wat voor fysiek dingen zijn gelijk. Ik vind het niet erg om het af te doen.
Nee, het is niet zelf af.
Dat komt later wel.
Ja, exact. Ik heb al mijn shit hier gelaten. Pak ik me al mee neer. Ik had alleen mijn portemonnee en mijn telefoon bij me. Normaal heb ik altijd mijn telefoon in deze broekzak en mijn portemonnee in deze. Maar gisteren is het wel omgedraaid. Door die uit. Ja, want als er is, was kapot.
heel lang wel.
Ja. Kijk, ik typ even iedereen uit. Dat stukje van Joris. Ja, hij is nog aan het zinken. Dus we hebben uiteindelijk 6 kamers gekeken.
Ja, die van John niet gezakt aan, dus. Hij is goed teamlid. Goed teamlid.
Goed teamlid.
Heel bijna een uur.
Nou, ik heb hier mijn muntenzakje. Ik ga hier al gewoon allemaal klein geld in doen. Dit komt uit die kabelzak trouwens, van de linkkabels. Dit staat hier. Oh. Er zit zo'n hoogtepje in die op je kabel kan sturen. Dat het niet loshangt. Wat moet de studentenvereniging van mij? Hallo, wat zijn er super tof dingen gemaakt in Minecraft Competition. Ik ben net afgestudeerd game designer en werk momenteel voor het Rijksmuseum. Oké.